Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to edition 230 of Swimmer Sync. I am your first commentator for our group stage here, Nax, and I am joined by Passion. How's it going?
Hello. It's going pretty good. It's been a nice sunny day, and I feel like I'm interested to see this tournament because the last one that what we were going to stream was going to be the first one after like instantly after the last patch that they made.
Right.
So yeah, I'm interested to see what changes here now. Yeah.
There's been well, I mean, I guess we've gotten to see no, it hasn't actually been. I was gonna say NA League, but this past weekend was the off week, so no. So we're first streamed Swimmer Sync at least since patch, and very much everybody is still getting the hang of things, getting the lay of the land in terms of where the patch is going to be putting us and stuff. But some of those changes were nothing to sneeze at, which really caught me off guard personally, because I feel like normally with the patches, it's very much inching slowly along at a snail's pace. But anyway, we're talking enough about patches. We got game one here. Or set one here, Creme Brulee versus Wyrmwind, featuring one of our very own IPL's Grace on Splatzone's Barnacle and Dime. So that's all I gotta say on that. That's Barnacle and Dime zones, man.
Barnacle, I feel like, in my opinion, is the best stage in the game. Like, well, one, because I look at just like the aesthetic, it's pretty, and I think it's just really like any weapons can do well here, like backlines, all your ledge weapons, just pretty much everything. It's just a fun stage to play. Yeah. And so we're seeing the comps here. We do have some interesting picks, like a Slosher Deco on side of.
Slosher Deco with the Zipcaster is interesting, especially on Barnacle. I'm not, it's not exactly the kind of map that I would first think of as a place to pull out Zip, but maybe somebody knows something more here than I do. Anyway, all that said, we're going to be seeing our first skirmish here going down in mid. Reef Slider is going to come out and push Turtle back a little bit, but that's unfortunately going to get punished. And it looks like our first significant cap here might be going down over to the side of Wyrmwind here.
Yeah, remember the yellow team are forced to jump out, and now this heavy spotling just holding down this key area on the plat super well. It's not letting anyone get up onto here. Now they do have, the Dread does have a Reef Slider at the ready, but Carbon and Gilly just going in, able to get 2 picks, and now their team has such a strong advantage, just holding down that plat just super well throughout this game so far. And now it's going to be tough for the yellow team to get back in.
Yeah, that's going to be Creme Brulee, and that timer is already sitting at 30 ticks down before Wyrmwind is able to knock this one out. Wyrmwind coming in and looking to show us why they are Div 1 in the CCA here, but that is going to be one going down with the Crap Tank, and it is going to be Creme Brulee trying to make their move here and taking back the zone. And we're going to have to see if they can get things locked down here, although they do have only one special ready at the moment, but we're not counting them out of this just yet.
Yeah, and looking to get a pick on that Zipcaster there. Not going to work out for them. Now 2 of Creme Brulee do go down. Such a strong push coming in from Wyrmwind. All the specials out, all the paint of the heaviest really helping their team just consistently get onto that plat. And now Creme Brulee kind of stuck in the back here. The Zuka is coming out, probably not going to find anyone though, so the specials are a little bit wasted, but this Reef Slider able to trade out 2 in the zone. Not going to cap it though, and Wyrmwind is going to move on to the zone for now.
Yeah, I'm going to take out 2 in the zone and going to stop it, but not quite cap, although it looks like that might have just barely given them the space in order to cap it and flip it. Yes, indeed. So that is going to be a flip over for Creme Brulee there, but once again, already 2 down on their side, and it looks like, yes, the Blaster is also going to go down, unfortunately, and they're just not able to hold down that zone.
Yeah, Creme Brulee just been kind of struggling to get control of their plat, get control of mid this entire game. Like, they've been able to stop the cap multiple times, but they're looking to get control now, which the Reef Slider is trying to find. Not able to find anyone though, so they're surprisingly. And now they're going to have to go for a skirmish in mid to try to get in. This Bubble from the Junior is going to do a super good job to hold space for their teammates, given protection, and now they're able to pick off 2 on the side of Creme Brulee, taking back this plat once again.
I remember a time when everybody wrote off Big Bubbler. Now you see it in every single set that you watch of this game. But that is going to be the zone being maintained down there by Wyrmwind. Creme Brulee is really going to have to get something together here. They have the Reef Slider with the Dread, and that zone is going to flip, but once again, 2 immediately go down, and they're including 1 with that special, and they're not able to capitalize, or at least to maintain things here, unfortunately. So it feels like a coordination thing, at least to me right now, in terms of just like having specials ready in order to get more decisive pushes. They're kind of just having to take what they can get so far, but we'll see if they can make something shift there.
Yeah, for sure. I think like I've seen them being clumped on that right side like every time they try to push in on Wyrmwind, and it just hasn't worked out for them. I feel like they need to make more use of that plat area there, which the Blaster is able to do. And now they're finally able to get the cap, trying to get a better foothold on this plat area. 2 of them do go down, however, so they're still going to have not too strong of a foothold in mid. But if they are able to secure this hold of plat, I think they have pretty good specials and weapons to lock it down with a crab on the Blaster as well as the splashdown. Sorry, a crab on the dualies and as well as the splashdown.
This might finally be Creme Brulee's chance here, actually. I was getting a little bit doubtful because it seemed like they were holding themselves back a little bit there, possibly getting distracted by the Zipcaster. But they did manage to get enough kills to be able to actually lock things down, and they're actually eyeing a lead here with just a couple seconds more to go before that flips over, and it looks like it is indeed going to flip over the lead and possibly even a knockout. I don't know if Wyrmwind is able to... Yeah, they didn't have anybody close enough in order to take that zone back. Wow, okay. Talk about a turnaround.
Yeah, Wyrmwind was looking super strong that entire game, but then Creme Brulee just got a singular push to lock them out for the entire game after that. Like, they were struggling to... Yeah, I think you mentioned struggling on the coordination to try to break into mid, but once they did that, their lockout was super, super strong. And
yeah. No, for sure. So this is going to be, yes, that lead flip there. So, yeah, you can see Wyrmwind really sort of... They were stuck up on the ledge there. Grace having to kind of in desperation jump down in hopes of stopping the zone, just because what else are you going to do? But unfortunately, not going to work out. But that's only game 1. Next, we are going over to tower control, Undertow Spillway. How do you feel about this one, Passion?
Ooh, I think this is the map that favors a lot more like wet ledge weapons. So there's a carbon roller that we can see. There's the blaster. So I think they're gonna have. Both those weapons are going to have a great time on this map, especially the blaster, because of course, just spamming AoE on that tower always going to be super dangerous.
Yeah. Remind me again. I know rapid. There were a lot of blaster nerfs in the last patch. Was the 10 frame ink recovery nerf? Was that on all blaster or was that just rapid?
I can check right now. Yeah, it was entirely Rapid Blaster Pro. 1/6 of a second extended the white ink frames.
Just rapid. Never mind. I'm just yapping here. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah. So yeah, Blaster definitely going to do well there. You know, there's also there's also going to be the Dread Ringer, stuff like that. When it comes to, we are looking at tower control there though, and bubble that is going to be. Good for Grace with the bubbler on the junior there. So we'll see if they can make some good use of that. But that first game, at least, both teams showing why they're seated directly next to each other at 24 and 25, I believe. But yeah, the exciting first game, exciting turnaround.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess if they do pull the bubble out, I do want to mention that there were like a whole bunch of bubble nerfs in the last patch. Like a bunch of other weapons can shred it now. But
there's like a couple weapons I know, yeah. We are going to see. Okay, so Creme Brulee brings out those dualies there, and then also, yeah, things are looking just about exactly the same for Wyrmwind. Not really too surprising, at least to me. Although it looks like maybe a gear change. I didn't quite. Check what that was though, but we are moving into that first skirmish here in mid, and Creme Brulee looking to make the first move. Already got a couple specials ready, including that cooler, but not quite able to win a fight just yet. And actually, that's quickly going to turn around, just like we were talking about with the bubbler, letting Wyrmwind get through that first checkpoint.
Yeah, I think the Carbon and Gilly Surf was just able to like instantly just go forward, make a bunch of space, like give a scare to Creme Brulee, and now able to get some picks here, able to move forward, trying to get the Dreadringer. That would be good to get the slider down, but does get picked off. But now we see the Bucket trying to move into the spawn, trying to find picks to extend the momentum onto the ledge, but it's not going to work. So now a little bit of a tougher fight here for Wyrmwind, still trying to push the tower, but the Reef Slider and the rest of Creme Brulee is able to shut down this push for now.
Yeah, that is going to be Creme Brulee's chance here. So we're going to see if they've learned their lesson a little bit from their last game and are able to push up a little bit more aggressively in order to lock things down a little bit more. That cooler is going to come out and set things up well for this next fight coming up here. That is a interesting triple splashdown pop. I'm not sure if I missed something there or if there was a specific goal that is going over my head, but you know, unfortunately though, yeah, it looks like that might not have been the place for it, because that is going to be the end of that push, unfortunately, and not able to get too much use out of the cooler either.
Yeah, silver lining though is that they still have all their members alive, still have a control mid, and now they're able to pick off the Carbon and the Bucket. They're able to get 3, just 1 more alive on, and just the Junior is going to have to jump out. So now Creme Brulee has a whole bunch of momentum. Now they're going to want to get to those ledges. If the Blaster can just hold there, like they have such a strong kit to be able to do so.
And good cooler placement coming out there, along with a crab tank, going to quickly try to shred that bubbler, which otherwise would have been very advantageous for Wyrmwind there. Although, unfortunately, somebody's going to sneak through. I didn't quite catch who it was, and managed to stop that push. That was unfortunate, actually. Was that the roller?
Yeah, I think it might have been, but I did see the roller go down to the crab, so it might have been someone else. But now, yeah, Wyrmwind was able to stop that push really effectively. It looked like Creme Brulee had so many specials to be able to push in now, but now Wyrmwind, just the Bucket and the Carbon just instantly getting to those ledges, instantly putting pressure on Creme Brulee, and the Bubble is trying to push the tower by itself, but it's not really going to work out with 2 of their teammates down. So now Creme Brulee still staying alive in this fight with 2 minutes left in this game, but they're going to have to build up more coordination, more of a push if they want to be able to get their lead past 28.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Although there is, there's just one more checkpoint for them to be able to get through before they're able to make a beeline straight towards those 28 points that Wyrmwind is sitting at. But Turple on that Zipcaster going to be a little bit of a nuisance and at least slow things down for Creme Brulee there. That Tacticooler once again going to come out. Jumps are coming in. Maybe a little bit of a dangerous one, but lost our caster.
That's not good.
Uh-oh, did OBS crash or did... Are we still alive? All right, I'm gonna assume that we're still alive. We had a little bit of a hiccup there, but we're back. All right, what?
Discord crashed for some.
All right, Discord crash happened. It happens. Only game 2 of first round of groups. All good. So... Where are we? All right. Yeah, points are still looking about the same. Things are... We got... Yeah, just Bubbler ready for Wyrmwind, and Creme Brulee trickling back in here a little bit. So I'm going to say this is probably going to be their last chance here because they still got quite a few points to go. But as we saw last time, we can't count them out quite yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And they're able to get some trades in mid, but now the Bubble is just going to hold down the space. Heavy just able to pick one off, and now the Reef Slider, I don't think it's going to do much here, so it's just if they're getting trades, it's going to be more beneficial for the team that is pushing, that is holding the space, which is Wyrmwind on this map. And now Creme Brulee making a last-ditch effort, able to pick 2 down on Wyrmwind, able to pick 3 now. Just the heavy splatling, the blast is putting pressure on them, so now they possibly have a last-ditch chance to be able to win this game with 3 specials at the ready.
That was 4, actually, for a brief second. So all of the specials, all the stops are coming out from Creme Brulee here. They make it past that checkpoint. Gilly's going to sneak through and able to shut down that crab tank, but not before a kill gets popped off with it, and not quite.
Oh.
Not quite that time. They got so close, but I didn't quite catch it. But you can see that I forget the name. I'm sorry. Whoever was on Zip managed to get onto that tower and shut it down right in overtime.
Oh yeah, the Zipcaster kind of cheats the tower there. If no one's on, because it's Zip and it will count. if you're just standing on the tower. And yeah, I think the Carbon was also able to rush forward and get some picks there, which led to the whole team just being able to swarm the towers. So now we have a tied set, and we're going to Robo Ramen Zone.
Level Robo Ramen Zones. This is making me hungry for ramen, actually. That would actually be so good. All right, I'm not just going to yap about what Robo Ramen Zones. So when it comes to the comps that we're looking at here, I feel like Carbon going to do well. I can see a lot of use of Zipcaster. Bubbler on those corners can be very effective. So lots of use for the players on Wyrmwind. But when it comes to Creme Brulee, what do we be looking at? Blaster, of course, going to do well. I don't... I'm so bad with comps sometimes. What else have they been playing? The Dualies?
I think, yeah, Dualies, Dread? They had the Dread, right?
Right, of course. Yeah, Dread. Sorry. We've spent a large portion of the game looking at that Dread Ringer. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's like a bad map for that or whatever. Robo Ramen's a balanced map and all that. That's why it gets picked so much. But I will say that I think I can see the combo that Wyrmwind has being effective here. All that said, though, it's, I'm not going to act like I'm some kind of genius predictor of expert on these teams here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's the most balanced map in the world. It's like that choke. There's like that one choke point that you have to go through to get into spawn, which can like be super finicky at times. Like teams not always able to get the way through, but if you're able to like get past that one like pie area, you have like a pretty good lockout there. Like it's really hard to get out of that stagger because you have like so many places for the enemy team to stand.
Well, we're gonna see how that goes here as we get into our game 3 on Robo Ramen Splat Zones. That is going to be just about the same coming out from both sides. Honestly, it's been working out okay for them so far. Not really any reason not to. So these teams are going to roll out into mid here, and we will see how our game 3 for our first group's game goes here.
Yeah, it looks like Creme Brulee is taking a little bit more initiative. Dread is able to get a nice pick on the bucket there, going from the bottom left ledge, and now, but Wyrmwind is still skirmishing out in mid, and the bubble is really just going to help them out once again, just holding down that space, not letting Creme Brulee paint the zone, and now Wyrmwind is going to get the first perhaps solid cap of this game, trying to get this crab out of the way. Is able to bring them down there, not able to get the pick, but just getting them out of the way is going to be beneficial to them. But it looks like Creme Brulee is just going to storm back with Wyrmwind not really being on the zone.
Yeah, so now this is going to be Creme Brulee's chance here, but they're kind of trickling in a little slow here, and that pressure is already coming down onto the zone. They are coolered, but yeah, no, they didn't quite get a chance in order to lock things down, although those triple splashdowns are going to be advantageous there, at least for keeping the zone in their favor. But as I say that is not going to be a good spot to take on that carbon roller. And yeah, Wyrmwind is right on the case. Immediately Gilly sharking here, hoping to get some picks as Creme Brulee rushes in to try and retake this zone. But they still have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think they have to be a little bit careful there, because there is a reach slider ready in the Dread that could just pop on that plat at any moment. And now the crab is able to take that space in mid, make so much space for the rest of their team, and now still keeping that reach slider at the ready. Creme Brulee with a huge shift in momentum now, just trying to be starting to lock out on this plat area. The Zipcaster is really all they have to deal with in mid, but now Wyrmwind, just all of them rushing the zone and able to get the pick there.
That was a good flank ? I didn't quite see where they came from, but I mean, maybe that's a sign that they did a good job with their placement there. But yeah, no, very effective. I feel like I blinked and now I'm looking at what I was looking at a minute ago again. Really quick adjustment from Wyrmwind there, very nice.
Yeah, no, the crab is able to get one, able now to go down on side of Wyrmwind, so it looks like their lockout isn't going to last all too long here. Splashdown's gonna be used to cap the zone, which perhaps isn't the best use, but it's Reach Slider able to pick 2.
Very good from Faz there, and this is all right. I want to see it from Creme Brulee. I need to see y'all pushed up. That splash. All right, the splat bomb is gone. You can push back up a little bit more now, but then that Zipcaster is going to come in and be a thorn in their side, and that bubbler comes on that choke that you were talking about, and once again things flip right back over to Wyrmwind.
Yeah, I think the Carbon there was also able to pick off the pencil, so Cooler should be staggered on the side of Creme Brulee, and now looks like penalty is ticking down quite a lot. They're going to start getting points in again. Suzuka trying to find yet another pick for this lockout, and they're just going to have to deal with the Blasty here. But yeah, now the specials do come out for Creme Brulee trying to storm back into the zone, but Wyrmwind just kind of backing up, holding strong, and able to get some trades in the map. So really just Creme Brulee with this reslider, the last ditch effort to try to be able to cap the zone, and they are able to do that, burning 2 specials.
Yes, yeah, unfortunately going to have to burn 2 specials for that. I was just about to comment on that. That's not really the position you want to be in there, although this is some nice aggression to see over here from Creme Brulee, along with that flow aura going off. They are up on that corner now to lock things down. Crab Tank at the ready, and that timer is now ticking down. Zipcaster is already going to come out, but luckily able to be shut down this time, and 2 down on the side of Wyrmwind. And we're looking at I was going to say a similar situation to what we saw in that first game, but well, this might be their chance, but this is going to be, looks like, the lead is going to flip over. But right as that happens, Wyrmwind is able to take it right back with taking 2 down on the side of Creme Brulee. And they do have a penalty to work through here, Passion, but we've seen them do it before.
Yeah, Wyrmwind has just been able to consistently get so many great picks in this game. The Carbon able to get another one, just the pencil there for a moment, but now Wyrmwind, they have been struggling to sustain their pushes even with all these picks that they've been getting. Like Creme Brulee has so much stuff that could instantly explode you with the Reef Slider with the splashdown. So now they are able to take the lead. The Reef Slider is going to try to cap the zone, not quite able to do so. Wyrmwind still staying alive. It's able to hold onto the zone somehow, not just the pen, and somehow Wyrmwind is able to survive that game and take the set.
Maybe at some point a Reef Slider could have capped a zone like that, but after the nerfs and the size of the Robo Ramen zone, unfortunately, not going to be enough there. So that is going to be our first set of the night, going over to Wyrmwind. Nicely played on both teams, but it did kind of show. Well, first of all, we'll talk about this little replay here when the lead flipped over. But yeah, and that Reef Slider, zone's just too big in order for that. But Wyrmwind, their lockdowns were just a little bit stronger. We're a little bit stronger, and the coordination with specials and everything just came out a little bit more, I feel like, and that enabled them to take that set. But yeah, good first games there, and we will be. All right, what are we looking at here? It's gonna be yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So, still waiting on some of these. I don't know if we're going to go to break. Oh, wait, no, round 2 will be ready. Okay. I suck stream coordination. So, that's first game there. So, I don't know what we're looking at next. I'm slow with Sendo. Y'all are going to have to forgive me. But, Wyrmwind going against Flex Up? Or Flex Up on against Creme Brulee?
I think so. Flex Up versus Creme Brulee is the round 2 for Group A.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie with y'all. I don't have much knowledge on Flex Up, or if that's a pickup or what. But I guess we'll find out in a second here.
Yeah.
All right. The Weatherman. Oh, this is completely different. Oh, right. I forgot that we could my brain forgot that we could just be looking at different groups. My bad. I was so locked into one. I completely neglected all of our other wonderful teams that are playing tonight. All right, let's look at Collapse versus Paisley Park.
I'm not sure, but I guess I've seen Collapse around before. I think I scrimmed them for the last SOS. I don't know.
I like the logo.
But oh yeah, that is a nice colorful logo. Yeah, it's nice to see when teams do actually have one.
What do you mean? You mean you don't have logos for your random pickup team that's named like Passion didn't want to join this, but we made her something. I don't know. This is me coming up with a Splatoon team pickup name on the fly.
I did used to make logos for pickup teams for fun, like quick doodles.
That's cool.
Why not?
Sweet. All right. Well, we're gonna be going to Cuttlefish Market zones. Another favorite of the scene in general, but of mine myself. You know, it's kind of strange with Haggle. It's very. It feels like it should be. It feels like it looks like it should feel worse than it does because it's just kind of this straight shot down.
Yeah.
And yet here we are still playing it. Everybody was talking about when this game came out, like, oh, not enough flank routes and stuff like that. I feel like, well, Haggle does have it, but they're like weird flank routes. I don't know how to describe. They're like,
yeah, this, I don't know. You have to make a jump up to like you have the low ground on the flanks, so you're kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage, maybe, unless you're a ledge poking weapon on those flanks. So yeah, they can kind of just get shot down, especially from like the tent area has view over that. Which flank is I'm forgetting my directions on this map.
That's okay. Splatoon maps are symmetrical anyway. So looking at also my silly self forgot that our lovely streamer here, Pipe Dream, has been posting our matches in the chat, which I have been sorrowfully neglecting to open. So I'm doing that now. So collapse Paisley Park is going to be seed 18 versus 42 here. So a little bit more of a difference here, but you know, I'm going to come out and say it. Let's go Paisley. Bring me some under.
You gotta believe in the upset
right now. Always.
You know, it's always possible in that to win. Like, you know, it's just, this is a weekly, like, stakes are not there, like, anything could just happen.
Exactly. And that's where the most beautiful stories start. But, so we're going zones, Haggle, then Clams Museum, zones Umami. I'm starting, like, when it comes to the mid between game stuff in the context of a weekly, it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't know what I can say about these map modes that haven't been said by people who are much better at talking about it than I have. So
I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit the same. Like, I feel like there's only so much to be able to say about the same map over and over. But
how about this? I like markets. I like shopping at markets.
That's true.
They're fun. They're lively.
Waterfront markets are nice. Yeah.
True. That sounds awesome. Actually, I would love to go to a country that has a lot of stuff like that.
That would be nice. Yeah.
This is high level Splatoon. And then museums. Don't even get me started on museums, dude. You can learn so much. Y'all ever tried learning? If you're done with school, give learning another shot. Learning is low-key fun.
If you think about it, Umami's like another museum. It's like the ruins.
True, it's like a natural museum.
Yeah. I watched like the lore video from like Rassicus, and it's like
true. Rassicus shout out. We need more
like Umami Empire. There's a whole thing behind this, and it's just a map that we play. And we don't.
We need more crossover between the lore community and the competitive community. I don't know how that's going to manifest, but I would love that.
Yeah,
let's get Rassicus on stream or something. Anyway, I should.
Let's just talk about like the lore of this map, the entire game, what's actually happening.
Oh no, are we in the? Yeah, whatever. The lobby.
Huh? Not sure.
I do this for you. Sorry, I'm checking stream coordination 1 right now, picking weapons. All right. I don't have any idea what these teams play, but I'm sure I will be able to come up with so many insightful things once I see it for the first time. Now let's go to Splatzone's Hagglefish Market. Okay. At Dynamo, there's Gal. There's the Wellstring. Gonna come out and Umbrella. Interesting. Yeah. So, all right. No Quarters by Chirpy Chip's gonna come out, and we are rolling out into zone. So I'm interested with. Okay. So what are we looking at? Wellstring and Heavy. Heavy obviously that's not surprising even with the patch and stuff. But Wellstring is gonna be interesting. In fact, I feel like we see it so unoften. I'm not even like well versed on like the kit and stuff for that, but yeah, there's a lot on the hammer. Okay,
I thought I was about to get a whole bunch of picks of the hammer right there. I guess not. But yeah, so now Collapse is able to take the first lock of the first initiative, is able to get onto this ramp with the strikes. really going to help them. They're able to get another pick with them. Now it's just like the heavy setting up on this court going to be super dangerous to get out of. And now the strikes are probably a bit early. The rest of the team can't really get in there, so it's going to get painted over.
Yeah, cooler there is fine, but unfortunately those strikes weren't really there to do anything. And unfortunately going to be caught out of position there and going to give even more space to Collapse. But as I say that, that is going to be, maybe a little bit too much gumption there, pushing up into plat. But we are looking at, that timer's already sitting at 20. So, and no specials ready for Paisley Park. So as I say that though, Hammer comes out. So. But not, I don't think able to get picks. I don't know. This timer's going down to Collapse though.
Yeah, I think Paisley Park kind of collapsed over there. Just like, they kind of just got steamrolled for kind of the whole game. They were able to like get
lucky, guys. I believe in you.
Blaster was able to like try to run out into mid, able to get a pick, but just kind of got stuck because they didn't have any paint around them. So just kind of an unfortunate loss there.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of showed with special coordination and stuff. It's the usual stuff. Things just kind of coming out before they're ready, before there's anybody there to capitalize. Strikes can be good when you have a zones map and stuff, but those strikes were not hitting nary a zone nor a player, and there weren't players up there to collapse on collapse as those strikes came out. We'll see if something shifts a little bit there. I don't know enough about the teams and stuff to say like if they might switch things up, but we are going to Clam's Museum.
Yeah, I guess Clam's Museum is like a bit more Palaka heavy map, because I think you were like completely surrounded by ledge there. You don't have like as many flanks other than that one drop, but it's like kind of vulnerable if somebody is just watching there. So it's gonna be something to look out for.
I like to say a lot on these things that I think the hallmark of a good Clams map is that it really there's usually some ledge or something right before the basket that you have to get to, or some sort of significant. This sounds really stupid, actually, as I say it out loud, because there's obstacles on every Splatoon. That's the nature of level design in a competitive shooter. But there's something about a specific kind of obstacle on or geometry in the best Clams maps, I think, that make it so that when you run up to that basket, you are really committing. So you can get really punished if you go in there without the Clams to support it, and I think Museum is one of those maps, and that's why we play it so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's definitely like you get, once you're past that spinner, that's like a whole different area of the map once you're there.
Exactly.
But okay, we do see a drop from Jade on the Blaster, trying to find some space for the team. Not going to be able to work out though. The rest of the collapse just able to collapse in on them, able to pick off the Blaster. And now just looking to move onto this right side. They're building so many Clams up already, getting so much space in mid.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of a positioning issue there, but that back is going to... that quick swivel going to be... that felt like poking a sleeping beast, right? Just immediately one frame over here to drop the back on you. But yeah, trying to pick up Clams a little bit here. Collapse trying to clean things up in mid, and they do have that power clam ready, as well as the tri-strikes, hopefully to set things up, although also going to be carrying the power clam, the tri-strike user there. Just gonna try and, okay, interesting. Set up a little bit of a smoke screen, maybe got a little bit distracted. That's okay, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I think the thing you mentioned there, like the strikes holder was also holding the power clam, so they kind of got stuck with it, rather than like their whole team being able to move forward with the push, and ran into that wall-string shot, which has been pretty annoying consistently here. And
I guess now that I think about it, with Wellstring, on some of these gaps on Museum, all of the shots from Wellstring can pretty much cover the entire space between the spinner and the ledge there. So Wellstring, now that I think about it, I can see the application for it being effective as pressure on this map, to hold people back a little bit. But speaking of pressure, Collapse is still applying such pressure up on plat here. Not quite able to break through just yet. They don't have specials ready at the moment, but they're definitely ready to make that happen soon, at least. Oh, as I say that, though, that's going to be a pick.
Yeah, Paisley Park just doing a great job just holding down this plat, but they're really not being able to get out of it so far. They're really struggling to get a foothold in mid. Well, like if they're able to get so many picks in this plat, if they just like extend their coordination a little bit more forward, perhaps they can try to get more movement into it, but the Guile is just going to be able to get in there. I think now they're going to finally get their first push in.
Yeah, maybe Tri-Strikes once again coming out a little bit early, and the hammer going to drop all the way down there. But I'm sorry, what? Just who got? Excuse me, what happened?
I'm not sure, honestly. I blinked and everyone died. So, well, I guess Paisley Park does have
how this game goes sometimes.
Room on this, yeah. I guess they were trying to make a push on the right side, but two of them were down, so it wasn't really going to work out. They're able to get a pick down on the heavy though, so that's a bit of the range gone. Perhaps will help a little bit more of their short range weapons like the Blaster Umbrella try to get in a little bit, but yeah, Collapse just doing a good job just holding like so many areas on this map down. Just the Blaster is able to shut down the bucket, but Collapse just holding that mid spinner, not really letting Paisley Park do anything this game.
Yeah, I think they're just playing patiently right now, really. They don't, after the first game, they're not really feeling the pressure too much, so they feel comfortable just waiting until the perfect moment in order to go for that push with their clam. But with that said, that is going to be two specials ready for Paisley Park here, and that is going to be a pick with the Inkback. Tri-Strikes and Wavebreaker are going to keep them pushed back a little bit, but they have made their way and taken their first step onto Collapse's plat here, and Wellstring going to supply some pressure from various directions. Unfortunately, I think that hammer is going to get caught by stage geometry, but you win some, you lose some. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see if they can get some push here. That bubble also in a pretty advantageous position, but it's really about getting past that spinner.
Yeah, unfortunately, two of them will go down, but if they can just continue to hold on to this ramp area and let their rest of the team build up, especially with his back, I think they're going to be able to get in now, and it's only a 71-point lead. They're able to get a hammer throw as well, so that's going to be the lead for them at 60. Not a huge one, but they are able to take the lead. Oh wait, Brella's trying to get some more in. Not going to happen. That is a lead. Just 4 minutes into this game, so Collapse on the back again. Or sorry for the
yeah, no, I mean, I guess at this point they're probably thinking we only got 30 seconds left. If we can just get a lead here and then survive until the end, then we can take this game. But we've seen how fast Collapse can move here, so we'll see if they're able to maintain that. That is going to be at least one special that Killer Whale. Multiple specials ready for Collapse here. So do they have a power? They don't. Wait, hold on,
I think they have the Pity Clam.
Oh, they had the Pity Clam. I'm sorry. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, what are we doing? But no, yeah, that's my fault then. My apologies. So yes, Collapse with their Pity Clam, but as we know, the overtime in Clam Blitz is very short. But yeah, no, they maybe waited just a little bit long there, and special's going to come out from Paisley, and they are indeed able to hold that lead down.
Yeah, I think we got a set in our hands now. I think Paisley Park was just running such an annoying comp, just able to get so many picks all the time. Like that Wellstring just doing a whole lot of work that entire game, as well as the back was able to clutch up at the end with the hammer, able to combo into that.
This is what I'm talking about, dude. Swim or sink. This is the kind of stuff you don't get this every day, man. That's what I'm talking about, Paisley. Good stuff. Yeah, no, but I mean, I think it was exactly like what I was saying before, before things ended. Like they really, with that last push, you could tell that they were like, it doesn't matter. We have two power clams. We just need to get both of these in. And if we get both of these in, then we can get lead and just hold it down and take that game. And you know what? By Jove, they did it.
Yeah, I think that game just they were just kind of slowly building up to where the places they were holding, for the first 3 minutes they were just holding their base, but then they were able to start holding mid pretty effectively. So once they were able to get control of some plays. They just kept holding it for pretty much the entire game, so they're able to get mid and then able to get that ramp into the flat push, which is what wanted for them there.
Specials finally came out at a great time together. You know, maybe something could have been a little, I don't know, I think it was a bomb or I don't know, something like, I think it was, or somebody respawning that unfortunately like shut them down a little bit more, weren't able to get a bigger lead with that. But you know, Vac coming out and everything to cover them for that push was helpful. But we are going to go over to Zone's Umami, and I'm not sure if I have anything in particular to say about the comps these teams have been playing and how that will affect things for a map mode like this. But don't have to wait long to find out anyway. So here we go, game 3 of Paisley Park versus Collapse here. And
I think
let's see if Paisley can give us the underdog story we've been hoping for.
That would be fun to see, yeah. And I guess like on this map, you probably want to take the top mid first, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a skirmish here. The Brella's gonna try to make space, able to pick off the bucket there. So that's gonna be a huge pick for them on Paisley Park, and now able to get 3 just the Wiper alive. That's an annoying one to get down, but if they are able to pick them off, which they are able to, this is gonna probably be a start of a pretty good lockout here, because this is a pretty
great opening. Oh my goodness, that was incredibly solid. And then Vac going to come out pretty well here too, and those points are already sitting at 60 for Paisley Park. They've gotten the nutrients from the feast of the last game here and are ready to come out swinging. But of course, Collapse is going to jump right back here with that wave breaker, at least to give them some a little bit of a foothold there as they make it out of that choke, and are able to stop the zone. But it is very much a back and forth fight right now between the two teams.
Yeah, that Dynamo putting in a lot of work though, able to just hold down zone for their team, able to get a wipeout now. So with 3 specials at the line now, Collapse is going to be able to get on these ledges, get the start of a pretty good lockout, and the hammer just, if you're just striking under here, unless you get picked off, that would be a really good place to just pop hammer once anyone tries to move and drop down, because it's such like a condensed area here. But yeah, now the strikes, the hammer is like such a good combo there. It's able to pick off everybody.
I was going to say though, for a second though, from Paisley, there was a little bit more, the strikes that they placed felt a lot more advantageous than how they had been placing them in earlier games, with how the players were positioned and how many players they had up. I'm not sure if it managed to bear fruit, but it felt like the right idea there. But yeah, that is going to be, so we're going to see if, now zones are flipping back and forth again. That is going to be 3 down on the side of Collapse, and this is going to be Paisley's next chance in order to flip these zones back, and they are indeed going to be able to do that. Able to have the hammer ready, not quite the others, and Collapse is already shown right back up, but I'm not going to count them out just yet for potentially being able to hold this down. We'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, Collapse just super aggressive though, able to pick off to just everyone just like instantly rushing in after they lost that cap there, and now it looks like someone's gonna jump to the strikes there. Unfortunately, instantly dies, so that Brella with the shield's gonna be gone. They've been putting in like a whole lot of work, like securing the top mid using their shield super well this game. But yeah, the rest of Collapse just like with everything they have, like the Dynamo Wiper, I think those are super annoying weapons to fight. The Viper's is going to be skirmishing in this bottom right area, not let anyone drop there, and now they're going to be forced into this choke point, which they have to get out, but they do have a back to try to be able to do so.
Yeah, and one thing I'm realizing now, looking at this a little bit more, is the paint power for Paisley really is not crazy strong. I mean, they have the tri-strikes and stuff here, but you know, you're rocking like blast and everything. But oh my goodness, that might not matter if you're able to get a triple there. Very nice from Jade, and clearly ready to flip this zone back and pushing right back up here. No specials ready, but they are putting themselves in a pretty advantageous spot here, trying to defend this zone, and we're going to see if Paisley can manage to keep this one locked down long enough for a lead, and that is going to be 2 picks coming there for Sticker, I believe that's going to be said, and things not looking too bad for Paisley right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to take the lead here, but except maybe not if that hammer is just going to come out on top mid and just get some picks there. Now all cornering this one last player.
There's no
the
way.
blaster is gone.
Nah.
And somehow Collapse fights back from that instantly.
Oh, just barely within reach of victory. It was in your clutches, and it slides out like a slippery fish that you just caught at the lake. But things aren't over yet. We still got a minute left in this game. That is going to be hammer ready, and the tri-strikes as well. Maybe not the most optimal placement, but the zones at least haven't been ticking down. But you know what? When it really comes to with these fights here in mid and stuff, they just don't have the paint power compared to Collapse.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just the blaster, like the Wellstring is probably the most paint on this team, and honestly, it's not like it doesn't have like the most like uptime, I guess I would say. But now they are able to finally take the zone back. They still do have the hammer there ready. The back probably not going to do much here unless they're able to get a pick with the shot that they have. But now the Umbrella does unfortunately go down, so it's going to be hard here for Paisley's part to try to hold on to the zones. One of them do go down. The hammer's trying to try to find a pick here. Not going to work out, though. The other hammer from the Viper is able to get 2 picks there. Collapse is able to win that game.
Okay, but imagine if the hammer didn't get shut down there. Enter into this different reality with me for a moment. Close your eyes and imagine if the hammer didn't get shut down there. That could have been so different. But shout outs though. Great last game and great effort from both teams.
Yeah, for sure. That was a fun one to watch. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like like with Hammer, like there's so many moments where you're like, oh, I have the line here. I could get so many picks, but no. You guys just got shot at the floor, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very how would I say it? Deceptive
I don't know.
special. I feel like the deceptive for the user sometimes, I think. But yeah, so that's going to be 2-1 over there for Collapse, but great job to both teams here. So I'm so bad at reading these charts quickly. Things coming together though for groups, but I believe we do have our next round here, and it is ready. That's going to be round 3. Game & Watch, our seed 36 versus Jam seed 37.
Ooh, so we should probably get a pretty close one here. I think I'm pretty familiar with Jam. I'd say I subbed with them before and played against them. And Game & Watch, I swear I've seen that team tag around somewhere, but I don't know.
Tell me about Jam then. Enlighten me.
Jam, I think they're a pretty solid, like 6-ish team that that's like they've kind of been like they've been around for a while. I think they go to LANs as well, so like as a full team. So that's a pretty cool thing
nice.
to see.
That is cool.
Yeah,
love a LAN. If anybody's watching this, if anybody's on the TikTok stream right now and you haven't been to a Splatoon LAN, go do that and have your life, the course of your life shifted for me.
Should go to Vancouver. That's happening on July 4th in Vancouver, Canada.
True, yeah. If you live in the U.S., I can't talk. I live in the U.S., so I was gonna say skip July 4th. Go to Vancouver instead. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, we're going to zones on Mahi here. Do you know anything with comps for Jam that might be able to be connected to this?
I think they have what's it? I think they used to have a carbon roller. I'm not sure if they play that anymore, because I also do see they have a one-trick blaster, so that would be a pretty interesting combo to see if they're gonna run do pretty much paintless weapons but have like a whole bunch of kill power.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I'm still bad at navigating Senda sometimes, so I can't quickly bring this stuff back up, but that's okay. Well, we don't have to wait long for that. So yeah, zones Mahi. This is another case where I'm like I don't know if I have anything to say that y'all need to hear on it, but I like it. It's fun. It's funny. I remember this when this first got put into this game. Everybody hated it. It was a completely different story. I feel like maybe I'm misremembering, but
I think it was generally okay. But then that patch happened and they expanded the thing
yes, before the great domain expansion of Mahi Mahi Resort 2020, whatever it was. Probably 3.
2020 is crazy.
No, 2020 202 hyphen whatever it was.
Yeah, imagine if we had Splatoon 3 all the way back then. That would be crazy. We're still running this
Dude,
game
I
for
mean,
that
they
long.
revealed it still during 2021. I remember watching the trailer for the reveal trailer for 3 in my COVID era place that I was in, and I was like, it felt I wasn't ready for how soon it was. I was like, even though it had been like several years, I was like, wait, 3 already? No. I mean, like,
Yeah,
sweet, but
I mean, like, it'd be like, what, 7, 8 years or something for Splatoon 2, which, I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable, but...
yeah, from Splatoon 2's reveal to, or release to then was 4, but anyway, enough about that. Oh my gosh, talk about coordination with these splash tags here. But yeah, so let's go to Splat Zones on Mahi Mahi Resort. Let's go.
So we do see the Carbon Blaster picks coming out there, so that's going to be like, they do have a whole bunch of just paint to support them with the pencil and the heavy splatling, but on the other side, we do see Game & Watch with like all of the AoE in the world with the bow with 2 buckets on their side, but
yeah, you're right.
Looks like Jam is going to take the first initiative here. Finn on the Blaster just doing a great job taking space on this right side, and that's going to start the first push for them.
After taking a look at their set history so far for this tournament, this is their 3rd game and gone 0-2 so far. So I know Jam must be hungry for a win here, and they're definitely doing what they need to do in order to do that. Unfortunately, Frieza probably going to be pushed up a little bit far and get picked off there, but that splashdown is going to come out and kind of just end up in a trade here. But you know, already 50 points on that timer is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, Frieza able to shut down the Reef Slider there. They weren't able to cap the zone, and now just holding this tent in the back, right? Just not, Game & Watch not really being able to get in here. It's just kind of getting held out by, like, Jams have so much range in addition to their Slayer weapons with the heavy and the pencil, just like so much pain, so much range to be able to hold down the zone. And now just Finn just able to extend their momentum up into the plat area, just able to get another really nice pick on the bow there. So that's a whole lot of paint gone. So it's going to be quite a struggle if Game & Watch wants to try to get the cap back in the zone, but they are able to do so with only 12 ticks on the clock.
Yeah, those tri-strikes maybe not going to come at the most opportune time for Game & Watch there, with the looking like the zone was probably going to get capped anyway. So maybe not exactly what you wanted, and yeah, that's going to result in that zone flipping right back over to Jam here, and then a wipeout for Game & Watch. Oh my goodness, that's unfortunate. Okay,
We're spinning it. Okay. All right, so wait,
it's not a squid bag. It's not a squid bag.
That is true. Yeah, I think it's a little bit nicer. It's like, I don't know, if a squid bag is like, I don't know, like a squid bag is like, this is a weird comparison, like a sweep, then like turning around is like a gentleman's sweep, I think. I think this happened there, but
I get what you're saying.
We do see the rest of Jam go down.
Although, hold on. It's time. You better get.
Cocky.
I'm not gonna make some corny commentator pun. I was gonna make something with Game & Watch something happen, but you know I'm not gonna subject y'all to that. But quite a nice pick there for the Trizuka, and that is going to be 3 down still for Jam as that timer ticks down on the side of Game & Watch. You know, maybe gonna get a little bit greedy there. Whoever was playing tent quickly have to turn around and get punished for that, but. That is some points ticking down here, and while Jam is popping specials and trying to make their way back onto zone, they're not quite able to do that. And again, 3 down once again. It's looking like this lead is actually probably going to flip over to Game & Watch.
Yeah, I think Game & Watch might just take this game here, because I saw like the Blaster and then Russian all alone, and then the Carbon also did the same thing. So that kind of just ended up with them staggered, and now looks like Game & Watch is just going to hold on to the lead. Reef Side is going to come out for fun for the stats, and now
the spinning that
Game & Watch
that.
is able to take that game. Yeah.
You shouldn't have spun around in a circle, Finn. That was when you lost the game. That lost time. That's how it happens.
Yeah,
of course I'm joking, but you know, like, great turnaround there for Game & Watch.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Very fun. So I guess we'll get a replay of that lead flip there. It felt like, yeah, no, something, I don't know what switch flipped there, but they kept like taking like good fights and using their specials effectively in order to just maintain their zone being locked down. Every couple seconds you would look at the top of the screen and it's just 3 down once again on Jam. So Game & Watch really got things together there. We'll see if they can maintain it for this next game here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be quite a chaotic one. And Humpback Rainmaker is like, this is I would say this is my favorite map in the game, just because like
this is your favorite map in the game.
Yeah, you can just go full speed ahead. Well, I'm all right,
so I'm gonna this will give us something here. I'm gonna say something. My hot take is I'm not too hot on this one personally, but that's probably just because I'm bad at it. I mean that might just be the reason, but man, that corner, dude, that elbow on Humpback Rainmaker. I mean, you could argue it's good map design and stuff because you really need a good setup for that checkpoint, at least compared to other Rainmaker maps. I feel like that it makes that first. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just yapping here. We'll see. But you know, true, yeah. Not much time taken to switch things. Sorry, I interrupted. What were you saying?
I just noticed that both teams have like all the splash edge coordinated. Like
one of them
has like different colors of the same one.
I love
and
that.
Jam has like all the same purple one. That's nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not going to see many changes in terms of comp. Although Dreadbringer, wait, Jam had Dreadbringer last time. I don't think they did.
No, they had a heavy splatling out. So now I think they have a little bit more aggressiveness with the Dreadbringer, which is working out so far. So they're able to take like pretty much the first control of the mid area, but they're still gonna have to try to push forward, which is not gonna happen because 2 of them do go down. The Real Slider is still alive, but they're kind of stuck on that left side now. So the 10 is kind of running over to this right check, and they should be able to just run over there and get.
Something devious and nefarious has snapped inside the hearts of Game & Watch as they take that first checkpoint there already and getting that triple in order to set that up there. Already eyeing that goal, and that Reef Slider going to come out, not technically getting the pick, but definitely applying pressure. Those points are already at 37, although that push is going to be over now for Game & Watch. That is definitely not something to sneeze at for their first one.
Yeah, but I'd say that is a pretty fortunate stop though, because like 37 is like about halfway through the fight. It could be so much worse on a map like this. It could be such a bad snowball, which could happen here and now with 3 down on the side of Game & Watch, and Jam just going all the way forward, making space on those ledges, as well as they have a splashdown at the ready to be able to pick off, clear area. So much room ahead here to be able to get the lead, and now I think they might just get the KO here, but the Boa is able to somehow put a stop to that.
Just as you said, though, also like 30 said, like when you're talking about that space from the checkpoint in order over to the goal, that really wasn't actually that far, and you could see they got those last few points with a sneaky little squid roll there. But now Game & Watch, I can't hear. Hello. That was maybe a little bit presumptuous there. Not the members of Jam respawning and able to shut that down. But you know, I love the moxie.
Yeah, I love the audacity to just go in and try to make something happen, because you know, who knows, maybe they'll just like miss their shots. Maybe you could just flip the lead just like that, but not going to happen. And I think the Rainbreakers should be resetting soon, so Jan, they don't have to push again in this game, but it would be nice to try to get towards a KO, because sometimes, I don't know, on this map, sometimes you're just like at 1, but then the other team just gets like 1 wipeout and comes all the way back, so you probably still want to like go full speed ahead if you can.
And it looks like Jam is definitely not ruling out that possibility there. The Reef Slider not quite going to be able to make it over to Yoshi there carrying the Rainmaker, but Yoshi is definitely trying to fend for their life and not quite able to do it for much longer. So Game & Watch, now this is their chance in order to push up a little bit here. Jam is a little bit delayed, but you know, not too much time to get into mid on Humpback here. So yeah, everybody back up again, and yeah, trades going out. So this is really going to be, no specials ready for Game & Watch just yet, and yeah, a little bit of a pick is going to be made on the Rainmaker, and things are stalled out here for a little bit.
Yeah, I think like Game & Watch kind of got separated from the Rainmaker there. Like all of them went forward, the Rainmaker didn't though, and the Blaster and everyone was just able to run into mid, just shut down the push just like that. And now Jam going forward once again, able to pick the 10 up, able to pick the bucket down, and now with Cooler out, this could be looking pretty dangerous if they want to like go for the KO here, as they have a Reslider at the ready. They have like everyone stacked on this elbow area. Now they just have to go forward to try to make something happen.
They're saying 6 points and only a minute left in the game. I'm still pretty hungry though. I'm ready to potentially, you know, why not live a little bit? But this is going to have to be Game & Watch's time to do this. And yeah, like I said, they're still looking to get that KO. Not quite though. Game & Watch able to shut that down.
Stopped at 6 once again, but they are still jumping onto this plat. Jam is still trying to fight for the KO, but looks like they will be able to shut that down. At the cross of a Reslider though, having to be popped to get the members out, but they do have 3 down on the other side, and they do have a lot of tools to be able to push in here. The 10 shield can make so much room ahead. They just have to get the picks, but yeah, it's just been a struggle for Game & Watch here. Not able to get the picks in the corner just yet. 2 of them go down. The Pen's just holding space super well on the spot area, and I think this might just be over for the Rainmaker now.
Yep, and Jam is going to collapse like a pack of wolves onto the Rainmaker there for Game & Watch. Take that Rainmaker, run right back over to their spawn, and that is going to be game 2. Heading over to Jam, giving us once again a game 3 tonight.
Yeah. That's pretty refreshing to see in an SOS, honestly, because I feel like there's a billion sweeps in this tournament, so it's really nice to see when we get like more competitive games like this.
Who's picking these games? Good job. Is that pipe dream? I don't know. I'm not on this, but anyway. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate to see at the end there. I didn't quite catch what really broke it there wasn't was a few moments earlier when 2 went down for Game & Watch. When two went down for Game & Watch there, right before that happened, and left the Rainmaker open. I'm not a seater. Yeah, no, of course, but I mean like the stream match is picking. Anyway, so now we're gonna go over to zones on ship shape.
I think this is gonna be a really chaotic map. I think it's gonna come down to like whoever gets the lockout here first tends to win the game, because like once you get it, like it's such like you have so many places to like be able to shut down the push. Like everyone has to drop from a ledge to be able to get down onto the court to be able to try to fight it all. And both teams like one team has like the Game & Watch has the Dread and the Bucket on the line, and then the Blaster and the Carbon on the other side. So yeah, it's just gonna come down to the ledges, I think, here.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And you know, it's kind of similar. What you just said is kind of similar to how this map is on tower control, with how snowbally it can be. Just something about the ledges and stuff, I guess. I don't know the way ship shape is laid out, but we've seen time and time again how fast a TC ship shape can go, and presumably similar things can happen for zones. But both of these teams have been biting down and clinging on for dear life to to each game here. So we'll see if that holds true. Also, Tulip picking the game. So shout out Tulip. The thing I was talking about a second ago. I mean,
our getting into the game here. Oh, we see sorry, what is a Winter Pro? I forgot what it's called, but the one with missiles. Yeah,
I'm still learning all the new names too. Like I'll always be like, it's the new one. It's the third one. But yeah, so now there's going to be Pencil over there for Jam, so bringing back a little bit more backline in this case. So now we're looking at this initial skirmish here. First take going to go over to Game & Watch, but unfortunately quickly punished with 3 down on the side of Game & Watch, and this is Jam's chance to potentially lock things down.
Yeah, and like they have the Reef Slider already. Once again, they're not really getting to the ledge, so they're kind of opting to take initiative back in this like core area. Just a Blaster really going ahead. So they're giving a whole lot of space for Game & Watch to just be able to run in and take, which they are doing now. They're able to get a whole bunch picked in the court. The rear slider is going to probably shut that down, though, able to pick off one, I think, but I'm not sure. But now the tank is going to try to make some space in mid. The shield's going to paint a whole lot of the zone. It paints like almost half the zone if you can just get it out there. But Game & Watch just not able to get the cap, and Jam able to hold on through such a flurry of chaos there.
Reminds me of what you were saying just a second ago, and that timer is already sitting at 25 points. This is really going to be Game & Watch's last chance in order to make something happen here, but with 2 specials ready on the side of Jam, that wave breaker is going to have to put in a lot of work if Game & Watch wants to make something happen here, although there's Tri-Strikes also coming in as well, potentially able to hold that zone down, with some going down on the side of Jam, and that might indeed be Jam's chance to stop that timer there at just 3 points. And see if they can give Jam back a little taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, as important as like the first lockout is on this map, it can be super volatile if you can't figure out how to get back in. And Jam is kind of struggling and getting staggered once and again on this map. Like, I keep seeing members of their team just like kind of rush in like super far, along with like 0 paint on their feet, which has kind of been causing them to stagger every single time. Like, been here trying to make something happen on the blaster, not really going to work out. The slider is able to save the zone for now, though, so that's going to give them a little bit more breathing room. But Game & Watch still has everybody alive on their team, able to get the wipeout, and they're still holding on to control of mid.
Yeah, big old penalty, but that wipeout is hopefully going to even things out for Game & Watch a little bit there. I was kind of surprised that the zone capped with the reef slider, but it had a little bit of help coming in from somewhere else, it looked like, as well. So penalty already going down here. Although 2 down from Game & Watch, we didn't quite get to catch where that happened, and then another one as whoever was on Slosher quickly tries to make up the difference, but unfortunately isn't able to do so. And now that is going to flip right back to Jam, and another penalty applied over to Game & Watch.
Yeah, but instantly they're getting back into the zone once again. Like, they didn't really lose control of that court because Jam just kind of left the space open for them once again. So now able to take a cap of the zone. Jam still trying to hold on this right side. The rear side is going to come out, try to pick off 1, 2 of Jam are down though, and the rest of Game & Watch should be able to cap the zone once they're able to get the picks. Really good job taking that top left side as well. Really going to shut down the rest of Jam and just be able to corner everyone here, unless Finn on the Blaster is just able to pull off some crazy things and try to hold down this whole zone for their team alone.
Although that triple splashdown also going to help keep things locked a little bit there, and that timer is getting a little bit low, the first one anyway, with the sitting at 1 minute and 13 seconds here, but that is 2 down for Game & Watch, and then another goes down as well. So see if man, there are so many reef sliders coming out this game, but this time they are indeed able to respond to it and top it off with another pick from the Trizuka there, and hopefully, seemingly now able to work through that penalty. Tri-Strike able to enable a trade there.
Yeah, that's an interesting Tri-Strikes. Like, it could have been wasted, but they are able to pick the pen, fortunately. And now 2 of Jam are down. They're not. I don't think they're going to be able to get back in here unless the reef slider can somehow just get far enough in front, try to cap the zone at the last second, but it's just not enough pain.
Almost, though. Almost. Just barely not able to. I think it was missing just a tiny bit more paint in order to support it in capping that zone there. So unfortunately, not going to be able to be taken, but great spirit with that. So yeah, that is going to be that set going over to Game & Watch. Well played. Very. It felt like every single game with that was Jam taking it in the beginning and then Game & Watch turning it around slowly over to. Okay, not the second one, but the ones that Game & Watch took anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I think zones was like a bit of a struggle for them there because like their team seems to want to like be in the gas pedal the entire time, but on zones you kind of just want to chill out a little bit, and I think that's what cost them on the staggers there. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely makes sense. But all that being said, I believe we're done with this stage of the cast?
Or do we have any more sets for this?
Oh.
Okay, gotcha. All right, first round of bracket after this. Well, actually, you know what? I think it might be good to go for a brief break and be back in a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't get anything cast much for the rest. Oh no! Oh no! They're getting high. They're gonna make the comeback here, Brett. Ellie's down! YVR, they're gonna help us finally see some fight.
Hello and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 230 with the first round of bracket here. We're going to have the Aberration, the Woomy Booyahs versus Cross Soul here. Not sure if I know all too much about any one of these teams, honestly. I think I recognize Nah for being a Carbon player. I think I've seen on the like Ball Up Top, but that's about it for me.
Yeah, the name the Woomy Booyahs, I feel like it's taking me back to 2015 or 16 or something. It feels so Splatoon 1 slash pause in a way. What was that?
I mean, like, you know, it's of course it's 2016, right?
Sure. Yeah. Anyway. So we're going to Zones, Barnacle, and Dime, yeah, with the Aberration and Cross Soul here. After that, Clams on Scorch, and then, wait, is it Clams? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got thrown off by a different thing that I read. Maps on screen wrong. Okay, cool. We're good now. We're good. I'm gonna Clam Scorch after that. But yeah, here we are for y'all got us for just set 1 of our Great White bracket here, but we will make it a good set.
Yep. I think on a good map
will
too.
Have to do that first, but
oh, that's true.
Barnacle, my beloved.
My beloved, yeah.
It's just good. I don't know.
So
it just got good vibes. Not even just from the art, but just in general. I feel comforted when I see her.
That's real, yeah. I feel like this is my comfort food map, Barnacle and Dime. This feels really solid.
What do you play?
It's just nice. Carbon.
Carbon? Okay, yeah. you've now that I think about it, whenever there has been a Carbon on the other team, it's felt like you knew that was the one player that you were familiar with beforehand.
I'm like, oh, they're doing things. Go Carbon, yeah.
Yeah. I actually tried. I tried Carbon for the first time last night, and well, not the first time. I don't know why I said the first time. I've tried getting into Carbon. And it was, I play shooters normally, and it was such a mindset change. I'm like, I felt so stupid, dude. I was like, what am I doing? There were so many moments where I was like, that is not how you play that weapon. But it's just how your brain, like, when you're used to playing one kind of weapon, it's so, and you play the game for so long, it's so ingrained. You got to kill so many, or learn to turn off so many habits at least. So
I play like way too much Carbon. If I ever try to switch to shooter, like I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? This should be like the easiest class in the game, but I'm like, oh, I can't aim anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's yeah. Very ironically, I've always played shooters, even though aim is like my best thing. But yeah, so I don't know where. I guess we're just picking teams and stuff here. We'll keep y'all entertained and stuff. But yeah, so Carbon talk, Barnacle and Dime. Then after that we got Clams. We got Clams on Scorch. So that's another map that I often say whenever I get the chance on comms. Is why it's. Okay, never mind. I don't need to get into that yet. We're going for it. It always sneaks up on you.
Yeah, but okay, we see like that's like the most standard comp of all time, I guess. But I guess a little bit different.
You're right.
Yeah, that's a lot of like leader zap or now you see and try, which I think is a little bit more interesting to see. With
a little bit, yeah.
In comp recently.
So we can see how these ones play out here as we get into our first skirmish. That cooler is already going to be coming out for Aberration there. Liz going for a little bit of sneaky deakiness around the corner and able to assist the team with that cooler and able to win that first team fight and lock things down and very aggressively make it all the way around the flank to just try and make the security rounds around after locking things down after that push.
Yeah, just Aberration is just doing like all they can to make like life as hard as possible for Crosssoul to try to get out of here, but they are giving up some space like below their plat area now, so I think Crosssoul is going to be able to start moving into Zuka's, going to try to find someone. I think they were Zuking their teammate there. They do find one in the corner though, so now Crosssoul's on the flank.
Yeah. All right.
I think Cap is on with only 20 seconds remaining, but two do go down. Gal's pretty much only one zone, so they are going to be able to finally get the cap. And if they're able to get this jump here, that could be a pretty dangerous pick. Yeah, and now they're able to get the zap and the Gal down. So cooler staggered, fighting weapon gone. It's going to be pretty dangerous for Aberration now. And Crosssoul's got a pretty good lock on the spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna comment on the tri-strike still being up for the Slosher, which is coming into effect now. But wise decision on their part to hang on to that for a little bit. But is that LZ? I don't know. I can't. Sometimes the stream quality makes it harder to read. Yeah, LZ, I think. Able to get that pick and then send the cooler out. Hopefully for their team, able to power themselves up a little bit in order to get this zone taken back, but it's still going to be maintained by Crosssoul.
Yeah, they've been kind of stuck on this plat, and Crosssoul has just been able to hold this mid area the entire time, like using those left and right sides, but finally they do have to jump out, and Aberration is finally able to take back mid, trying to get into this area to try to make the lockout a little bit tougher to get out of, but the Carbon just doing a really good job there, just making space on those ledges, doing exactly what it needs to do. Unfortunately, two do go down on Crosssoul now, and the penalty is ticking down fast for Aberration.
Yeah, and with no specials quite ready in order to break through, and that tri-strike is going to stagger them even more. Although I will say they do manage to get up there, but still kind of in a little bit too much yellow there to make things happen. And now Aberration is through that penalty, and while they have two down, I'm really not sure if. Oh, okay. No. I was about to say, yeah, I don't think Crosssoul wasn't quite up in time enough to recover things there.
Yeah, Aberration, the woomy booyahs, was just able to push up like quite a bit more that game, just like consistently be able to get into the pit area. Well, sorry, I'm forgetting the teams already. Crosssoul was kind of like stuck, like on the plat area, never really able to get past that, which left a whole bunch of space for Aberration to just get back in, and that cost them the game, I think.
Yeah, totally. Although, you know, all things considered, the things with that last push attempt there, not too bad. It was just a little too late, you know.
Yeah.
And I think maybe one person on Crosssoul maybe jumped in a little fast, and you could see they were able to get picked, but I don't know if it would have made a difference in that case. But you know, the whales and the wave breakers and stuff coming out, all that normally would be great for taking a little bit more space, but not this time, unfortunately. But that was fast. I think we can safely say that comps are probably going to be the same here. Yeah,
I mean, they do have, like, both teams have like kind of similar comps, I'd say, but I feel like the Crosssoul with the Carbon and the Entry is going to have a little bit more of advantage here, because Scorch like ledges all around the mid area. You have to fight upper ramp to get into the spawn to get a score on the basket.
Something going on there. I don't know what happened, but was it on the wrong mode? I missed it.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Anyway,
too. I don't know.
You're yapping too hard. Sorry, y'all. We'll get right back to it.
Oops. Well, guess a little bit.
Sorry, I was checking the Twitch chat for a second. As they figure out whatever it is needs to be figured out here, we will keep y'all so entertained. Passion, what was the best part of your day today?
Best part of my day, I'm gonna say it was commentating this because we all love Swimmer Sink.
We love Swimmer Sink. Everybody say, get this trending, okay? Hashtag I love Swimmer Sink and nobody can tell me otherwise because I just love it so much. Get it? That's the new thing. Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure and stuff to be here. Unfortunately, we weren't able to stream last week just because of tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Because of tornadoes. Weather.
I heard something like tornadoes. It was like
no, not tornadoes. Tornadoes sabotaged the stream, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But not this time. Too strong for that. All right. We're right back at Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge. Here we go.
Here we go. Most the comps of all time, I would say. But,
Indeed.
all right, so no more entry. Like, now we have pretty much the exact same thing, except we have a carbon on one side and a bucket on the other side. So we're going to see how that plays out. Looks like Aberration trying to take a little more initiative, trying to get Gal immediately trying to rush in on that ramp area, but it's not going to work out for them. Now, Cross Soul's going to try to take the first, kind of solid control of mid, getting control of that top area, which is going to be really nice to have access to that grades, have access to shooting down on the ramp. And now the Carbon's looking to get in, trying to get picks. Nice one there on the Zap. Ooh, trying to get
Very
the
nice.
bucket on the ledge here. Not going to happen, but still, Zuka just holding down the space is going to be really nice while they build clamps.
Cross Soul coming out swinging here at the very beginning with Angelic going to be watching over mid a little bit here, and 2 down on the side of Aberration, but it looks like Cross Soul isn't quite ready with the power clam, although as I say that they do manage to get it together and start that push going, but it looks like it's going to be what I call the Clam Blitz special, which is you get one power clam in and you're not able to get anything else in. Not quite able to have stuff ready. Had a few clams, but also not quite the specials to support that push continuing, and unfortunately going to get taken out there.
Yeah, the Carbon were kind of an iffy shark there, and now, like, yeah, as I said, with just 80 points on the board, that's gonna give like a free pity clam to Aberration to be able to use, and now they're still trying to, still having a bit of a struggle getting complete control mid. They'll, both teams are pretty evenly matched here, it's just been a constant skirmish. Like, no one's had super solid control with this, especially with this Carbon just causing so much chaos around around this top mid area that you really want to keep locked down. But now Cross Soul just a little bit strong. They are firing back and they are building up clamps once again to be able to push onto this ramp. Neither team has anything ready, so I think it's just gonna be a bit of a slugfest for a while to come.
You're telling me that we're looking at a lot of skirmishing and nothing ready for a push in a Clam Blitz game? No way, dude.
No way.
No shot. All right, though, as I said, those specials are going to come out and try and push Cross Soul back a little bit there. Unfortunately, not. Whoa, excuse me. Sorry, my eyes were on another part of the map, but it looks like that is going to be 2 down for Cross Soul. Unfortunately, though, Aberration also going to have 2 down. That pity clam is still in play. Demigal clearly not wanting to hold on to that quite at the moment. Probably the best play there. As skirmishes continue here in mid, but 2 down, able to get a pick there through the Zuka there, I believe it was, through the Carbon. Things are getting set up a little bit here for Cross Soul, but they don't quite have a power clam ready.
Yeah, I think they're finally going to be able to get one here, so finally able to break the basket once again. Zap has a whole bunch of clams at the ready, perhaps holding on to them though, as they're not really throwing into the basket. Trying to build perhaps another power clam, but now finally able to get some score in. Not really much moving on to that plat area, but yeah, the strikes are going to come out immediately for Aberration, doing a great job of just immediately taking the space back into mid, but they are just immediately just going to get shut down by Cross Soul, and it's just a whole bunch of explosions in mid. The current state
Yeah,
of
really. I mean, honestly, it's been very skirmishy, but pretty well played from Cross Soul so far. We're going to have to see if they're able to maintain this for the rest of the game here, but so far they've been doing an okay job. Although, looking at 2 power clams for Aberration there, very nice smooth pick there, though, from, is it Noff 24?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just like the 20XX of Splatoon. Everyone is picking leader, Zap, Gal, third weapon, or fourth weapon, and just whoever can execute slightly better is going to win. Yeah, I feel like that's what's been happening this game. It's just been really even with all the same comps, but yeah, Crossland is a little bit better with the coordination.
Yeah, and I mean that goes to show if you're sitting roughly the same in terms of comps, then that's a little bit of an equalizer in some ways, you could say. But now, we're looking at 43 seconds left in this game, and Aberration really has not been able to even really sniff that Clams basket yet. Yeah.
It looks like they do have like everything they need to be able to push now. They have 2 power clams out there. They have 1 person with 7 clams. They're able to get the cooler player out of the way, just have to deal with the carbon in front, which they are able to do so. But the Gal on Cross Soul is just still holding down that plat, just not letting Aberration get in onto their base, but they still do have the 2 power clams ready, so they're just going to have to get some kind of picks to break through here, but it looks like it's just not happening as oh my goodness, that was a crazy flick.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty smooth. So now we're going to be going into overtime, and Aberration does pretty much have the. Okay, as I say that.
Wait, we have play. We have play. Wait.
Oh, we do indeed. But
Bucket's trying to make something happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that flank is going to be chased away right out of there, saying, "Go on, get out of here," and that push is not going to happen. Yeah, Aberration really. Cross still doing a good job keeping that plat locked down.
Yeah, for sure. Like, honestly, yeah, that game was a whole lot. not too much happening in mid, but yeah, Cross was just able to execute the pushes a little bit better there. Like, and the Gals crucially able to hold down the entire plat, was able to stop the push on their own there on that last play.
Yeah, the Clam Blitz game of all time.
Yeah.
Very nice. Although that's of course not to disparage the skill of who's playing here. But that is once again going to put us as going to game 3 and ending in the way that all things in life end at Splat Zone's Mako Mart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is a bit more of a chaotic game, because I'd say it's a much more chaotic map. Like, whatever you can do on the right side, just like if the Carbon can get over there, if the Gal can just get over there to start just like shooting from that right side, just causing a whole bunch of chaos. I think that'd be a fun to see, as well as like, this is the staple map with all the flanks in the world, so I want to see a little more excitement here.
That's true, yeah. And in DDD, I had something to say about it. Oh, do you say Mako or Mako?
Shoot, I think Mako. I think I say Mako.
Mako. I kind of swap between them. I don't know why, but
yeah.
It feels like Mako Mart should but also Mako Mart is more fun to say. So
yeah, you gotta pick I don't know. Mako Mart sounds like Dead Inside. I don't know. Like, if it was Mako Mart, it's like giving vibes like, okay, this girl through's dead. But like Mako Mart, okay, everyone's here, everyone's at the function, it's alive.
Meanwhile, Mako is just the Japanese word for shark. Well, I guess it's a type of
I didn't know that also, actually.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. No, it's a type of shark. Excuse me. Japanese shark is same. I don't know where that came from. I swear. Well, I think it's a Japanese shark. It sounds like a Japanese word anyway. But I love spreading misinformation on the swimmer shrink. Swimmer strink? Excuse me?
Shrink.
Swimmer sink. Something. Yeah. Somebody drop?
Yeah. We looks like we have one gone. So we're gonna have to wait a bit.
Maybe that was what happened the first one and we missed it.
Wait, are we? They were like playing for a second. I was gonna say.
We take these. Back to it.
Do it.
Get back in here. I don't know who dropped, but all right. Passion, I hit you earlier with an incredibly hard-hitting question, and I'm back at you with another one. What was your second favorite thing that happened to you today?
My second favorite thing? Oh shoot, I don't know. I was drawing a little bit.
True. That's so awesome. Were you drawing Splat Zone's Mako Mart? Mako Mart?
I don't know about that, but maybe that'll be a fun thing to draw.
I'm inventing a new character.
Fun things happen on this map.
I'm inventing a new character. It's person who loves to draw only Splat Zones Mako Mart. And whenever
live on SOS.
And for that reason loves watching competitive Splatoon because you can always count on there being a Splat Zones Mako Mart.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you've seen like that. There's one person like called with like the tag Clamblitz or something, and just like shows up every time there's like
yes
a Clamblitz mention. If there's like a Mako Mart person, that would be really funny.
Do we know what player Clamblitz actually is, or is this just a mysterious entity who shows up in Twitch chats? Because I don't know. Somebody educate me if I'm just out of the loop on who Clamblitz actually is, or if that's also the in-game tag. But a hero of our time, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch them be in
oh,
chat
we do
right
have
now.
some comp changes here now. We do see, I think that's double reef. So yeah, slider on the dread and the blue dapples. So that's gonna be a whole lot more like aggressive.
Oh, well, that's different.
Side.
We're shaking things up a little bit here. Oh, getting a little unpredictable, things a little bit spicy here. Hey, anything's better than day one Splatoon 3 with 2 splashes and 2 machines. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But all that said, that is going to be that first take going over to Aberration here as the timer ticks down to 75, and they build up specials here hoping to lock things down. And that Reef Slider not quite going to be able to do what it's hoping to do, and caught out by that E-leader, who then gets picked after that, though, unfortunately, as that timer is already halfway done and Push is getting shut down from Cross-Soul.
Yeah, the leader doing a great job there with the snipe, able to shut down that one person. But there looks like someone is on the bottom left flank trying to make something happen for the team, trying to provide a distraction, but just not going to work. And that looks like that was the zap, interestingly enough. I'm not sure if that's the weapon that you'd want to have on the flank your cooler player.
This game is quickly slipping out of Cross-Soul's fingers here, though. Unless
the Carbon can paint the zone. Azuka's out. I think they can paint the zone here, unless
the Zuka's
all of them are just going to go down the stack. The Carbon is still trying to hold onto it. The leader trying to paint the zone.
I'm not sure. I would have. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed a fight that was like happening and more crucial there. But I feel like I would have focused on giving the zone paint over the Zuka there. But there might have just been some miscommunication, unfortunately. But that is going to be that game going over to Aberration.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate loss there. Like, I'm surprised how long the Carbon and leader were just able to hold on to the zone before it was actually capped. But yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, but solid plays overall from both teams before that. So we're looking at, for our first broadcasted set anyway for Great White, that's going to be Aberration moving on, and we will see who comes through from the other teams. But all that being said, that is going to be the end of Passion and I's time here for tonight. So now we are swapping commentators.
Swapping
as the stream will tell you. So,
oh wow!
As we swap commentators, I will say you can find me on Blue Sky if you want. If for some reason you want more. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. If for whatever reason after tonight you want to see more of me, you can find me on Blue Sky at naxethan.bluesky.social. How about you, Passion?
Yeah, and you can find me on Blue Sky as well, and you can find me at Van Coral, the aforementioned LAN tournament that's going to be happening.
Yes, go to Van Coral
on July 4th. You should come there.
Go to Van Coral for me because I can't. Do it.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to be it. We will catch y'all on the flip, and hope you will stick around to see the rest of our Great White bracket here. See ya.
first.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync number 230 for the Great White Bracket going into the end of this tournament. I'm Electra J46, joined by none other than Elemental for the rest of this tournament. How are you doing tonight, Ellie?
The full government username. I'm doing good. How about you, Jay?
Not too bad, honestly. It's a pretty good June evening here over here in North America, as we're going to get into our next set of Disguised versus Salutations. Both of these two teams came off some pretty good wins in their group stages. Disguised did get a bye going into the set, and Salutations had to beat another team in the first round of bracket to make their way into this match. So now it's really going to be a case of is this little extra break that Disguised got gonna burn them away off into an early exit, or will they continue their momentum rolling here? But for looking at both of these teams, well, all these actually did some background research. All of the players except for 2 players on Disguise here have had experience here in Great White Bracket. But for the side of the Disguise, really, I believe it is Dreamer and Sizzle that have not made the Great White Bracket before. So they're really going to be relying on that expertise, that knowledge, if you may, from Yumta and Denia for what they might see and what to expect here going into Great White Bracket into their next set.
You know, I appreciate you doing some research and talking for longer than I ever could, because I did not know these teams going into this. Despite Dreamer and Sizzle not having experience in the Great White Bracket, they are, Bloody Div 3 team, and I think, looking at the results, they've been together for a minute. I think this is like a team, and if 2 of them are EU, then, I'm gonna assume the whole team's. So to say that they haven't made Great White before, probably just because this tournament is 1 in the morning, so I don't blame them.
Yeah,
they've got other options like Ludi, and I think that's more enough to, say that they're going to be putting up a good fight in the set.
Yeah, it could be pretty late, especially also for on the side of Denia, actually, for Disguise. They played Paddling Pool earlier today. How would I know that? I did actually play with them. So it was unfortunately not went the way we were hoping for. But Denia, actually, one other thing I wanted to mention, Denia has an absolutely mind-boggling 318. Yes, you heard me right. 318 results on their Sender profile. But all that background research yapping aside, it is time to get into game 1 here as we look at the comps.
52 gallons. To be expected at this point, but, a little bit exciting to see. But I guess we're in the Great White Bracket, got to bring out all the best weapons. And, nothing too special here. I think that these are pretty standard comps going into the game.
Yeah, both teams running the pencil, but we do see that it is Salutations that does get the first pick here. Denia with the splatter shot, trying to do anything that they can do. They get the extra pick onto their other side of Salutations, but for the bit of a stall fight, as we always expect when it comes to, especially at a higher level like this. But with everything, all the resources, the missiles putting a lot of displacement, that gives Disguise the chance they need to get the first cap.
Yeah, really scrappy opening. It seemed like Salutations had a really good opportunity to move up, but then 2 went down, so Disguise, stands there from ground in mid, and 40 seconds in, nothing's really happened. It's pretty much anyone's game. Down goes the shot, losing that Zuko, which is going to be pretty crucial, but, right now, just wait and see what goes on next.
Yeah, one thing definitely thinking that the displacement is really going to be a big name of the game for both of these teams, because they have the Ultra Stamp, they have the Ink Storm, the Killer Whale from Salutations, but for the side of Disguise, you have double Zuka and the missiles. Speak of the devil and it shall appear. Here comes both of those, and the Cooler to boot as well. Pushes a lot of the members of Salutations away from the zone for the time being to flip it into neutral, but not enough for Disguise to get another cap on the zone, and we see Denia trying to do whatever they can to fight the Luna, but it does not work out into their favor as Nedya jumps back into the zone for their own safety, trying to see if they can catch out any sharks, and for Salutations, they continue to get a good hold here.
Notice how many resources Disguise spent to get back in there, and then they didn't get back in. They got maybe 4 inches of space for pretty much everything that they had. Next round special's coming up now. Out comes Zuka and the missiles, so we'll see if they manage to get something this time. But their composition heavily relying on picks, and they're not getting the picks. 3 down for them, and low-key, that's GG's. That's pretty much going to be game 1 going to Salutations.
Yumta can only just sit there and wallow in despair as they see the rest of the team unfortunately go down. They did have some good time cycling all those specials to try to get some retakes, but Salutations just wasn't shook at all by all the specials they were putting out. And for Salutations, that is the first game of this set going to them in a very dominant shutout.
Yeah, I want to point out, the composition on Disguise it's so pickle, I feel. Because you got like 2 Zukas and then you got a Carbon Roller, and like I feel like your only option to get in is just to hit him over the head or shoot them with the Zuka. And like if you can't secure those picks properly, then you just can't get a proper hold. So
yeah, that's actually a good point to think about it, because when we saw the Splattershot Pro Frozen and we saw the regular Splattershot as well. That is a double support comp that Disguised is running, and the problem when you run double support is that like for the enemy team, really the biggest thing is that if you get your, like when it comes to double support, if they get specials and everything. Now, as I'm saying this, we did just kind of get proved wrong by Salutations, but one of the biggest things that Disguised has as their power is like all those specials that they can do to really possibly keep a lockout onto Salutations. But like I said, we just saw them like just be completely unfazed and said, do you really think that's going to work on us? But for the side of Hagglefish Market, it's a bit of an open map. Now it's starting to become a little more confined, possibly a little more cramped, if you may, depending on where you want to look at it, as Inkblot Tower Control is up next for game number 2.
Okay, as I get the next like 15 seconds to speak here, I don't think double support is accurate, and I mean, it doesn't matter anymore because they're going to switch over to leader, and I think that is an excellent choice for them on this map. Like, they, you couldn't just shoot them with the Zuka, you could shoot them with the leader, and, anked up way nicely for them, especially because they don't really have the options to deal with it on the side of Salutations. So, see how this comp plays out.
Yeah, definitely that leader can definitely demand a lot more space, especially because L8 has to, from the side of Salutations, has to be really careful, because if he's not careful enough, they're going to find their head blown clean off, just like Nedja is right there. But for the side of Salutations, they find 3 on Disguised, and they get the first jab at the tower here.
Yeah, even if Yuma the leader is going to get some nice shots, doesn't matter if the whole team goes down. So now it's their turn to come back in. The second specialist nicely using Booyah is going to be good to get some space. Pumps everyone off the tower, so at least they're not going to be losing any more points. Top net at the 6-7, so we'll see if this push continues in further. To them, go for Disguised again. It's not looking too hot.
Yeah, no, especially that say, but Sizzle has something to say about it. He's gonna walk in and just get everybody off the tower, saying, no, this is my area of the map, and you could cry if you want to. And they stop that push down at 49 with the wipeout to boot, and there's the Zuka as well to try to see if it can get any extra picks, and it finds the Nautilus in the back.
I mean, that's exactly what you want to do with a composition like this. You pretty much have to walk that carbon and smuggle that guy over it so they can hit them all over the head, and a perfect play by Sizzle. Now it's this guy's turn to push. I mean, not too many resources. First one's going to come out from being the Booyah Bomb, being able to clear bats. Need to see some people move up with it. Right on the right side, you can see the carbon take down 2. So this is a really good position for Disguise here. This could be a long push if they get the skill. One more down. Yep. Last one's so low. I mean, at least they're going to get the lead here. And possibly the checkpoint? No. I mean, barely squeezing the lead. But this is where Tower Inkblot's ult is contested, so not a comfortable lead, but lead's a lead. Yeah.
Little shout out to the Forge there I saw from the side of Disguise. They were just kind of playing a bit more rage baity on the side of the to try to get Disguise to like possibly try to make a possible bad play, and they ended up getting a few extra points. That is the lead swap. But just like that already, Salutations is already threatening. Sizzle trying to do whatever they can behind the tower, but they are deep in behind enemy territory right now. Retrospectively, they do find themselves down before they can find the gal as well. Dreamer popping this Booyah Bomb is gonna do for a bit of survivability and pushes LA off the tower.
I was gonna say it's a pretty awkward position, but that Booyah Bomb did some wonders, pushing everyone back. But I don't know how they went 3 down again. I saw the carbon get shot in the head, but this is Salutation's chance to push again with that advantage, and they got a lot of resources ready, both the hammer and everything. So we'll see how these specials get some picks here. They have 2 clear bats. Hammer's gonna be pretty good for this if they can get the picks. One more goes down in bats though, so if the Suna cleans up shop, we're gonna be going over to the third checkpoint here. A full wipeout, so we're gonna break this 3rd check probably, and it's not looking so good for Disguised.
One of the worst places to possibly fighting a blaster is in like a confined space like we were talking about earlier, and we really are seeing it there. Wilk unfortunately is gonna go down, but not before they can push the tower all the way down to 13 remaining, and the last members of Salutations are picked off of the bats. And we see Disguise now. They have a lot of work cut out for them. They have this, that we saw them take the lead earlier, but now they have to go a lot farther in order for them to take the lead back again. And with the limited time of 1:40 to go, it's going to be really hard to see how they're going to have the response here. Sizzle trying to see if they just trying to do anything they can keep to fend off Nedja, I believe it is over here.
Sizzle's gonna be able to find the nice two-piece here, and that's gonna, you know, buy them some momentum. But they're gonna have to ward off this pencil, and we're holding space very nicely. And this point sensor is definitely doing a lot of work, making sure that Sizzle can't approach them with ease. So despite those nice kills, it's not gonna do too much for Disguise.
Yeah, unfortunately, the thing like points so that is a big counter really for Sizzle, because just like honestly, one of the biggest things that Carbon wants to do is just kind of sneak around and attack when you least expect it. But if you know, like basically, you just get essential wall hacks and you know where he's gonna be, then that really undermines the whole purpose of what the Carbon Roller serves to do. Dreamer tries to go off and get some extra picks. They find the Luna before they go down themselves. Woke trying to fend themselves off from this Carbon Roller. Sizzle just being the absolute ledge gremlin that rollers can absolutely be before they have to jump out for their own safety. And with 37 seconds remaining on this clock right now, it is crunch time for Disguise.
Yeah, this is going to be one of their last pushes, if not the last one, so it's going to have to be a good one. The fortune cooler is going on the left side, losing over to that gal, so, you know, Sizzle's going to have to make some magic happen here. 2 more go down, I'm not sure from what, so they're going to at least get their foot in the door, and this is going to be the start of their last push here. I'm wondering what resources they have available, but, you know, Sizzle's ledging over on the right side, but no one's ahead of the tower yet, and it's not going to be good as the tower rolls into bats here, so...
Oh, but as you say that, though, watch out for this crash in the bats here. We see Sizzle trying to get a poke onto Woke, but they unfortunately do not do so. One of the things you were talking about earlier, the Booyah Bomb comes out, person is off the tower, Dreamer has to make a mad dash for the tower, Vlad crashes the tower as well, and with the higher DPS of the 52 gal against the Pro, honestly, that is going to be game, set, match, and Salutations is going to close it out in a clean 2-0.
Yeah, it just seemed like Disguise never managed to really get their footing into Salutations, so it's going to be them, they drop in, 3rd place last year? So, not fully out, but, you know, that's going to be their hopes dashed for the grand finals here.
Yeah. For them, unfortunately,
they don't get it's over. They're going home.
Yeah, unfortunately for Disguise, their run ends a little early, and we do see that the extended break kind of did burn them possibly a little bit. For Salutations, they have to wait to see if it's going to be either Flex Up or High Tide Rush for their next opponent. On the other side, Heavy Edit Splatling and Aberration, the Woomy Booyah, tied 1-1 against Heavy Edit, and the winner of that is going to face Chorus Out of Tune for the semifinal match, and then we obviously, as it always goes, just next winners go on to play for the finals for a chance to be crowned the SOS champion.
Yep, they're streaming right now, so let's take a look. I mean, right now it is Heavy Edit Splatling in the lead in their game 3, and that lead is quickly slipping away with them all dying. So there's a little bit of fear in my heart.
Oh no!
They have push to 4, so obviously that push to 4 is going to be difficult to beat, but you know, it's taken down pretty fast.
Yeah, unfortunately, like time can definitely crunch by faster than you could think, and honestly, with how both teams need to respond to each other, you were talking about it a little earlier when it was the time for Disguise to make their last push. One of the things they kind of didn't do, they weren't able to control the space in front of it. One of the things that my coaches always tell me, especially on tower, is that make sure you control the space in front of the objective, in that case being the tower, more than anything really. And we saw Disguise try to do that a little bit, but unfortunately it wasn't always fully enough for them. As you see, Flex Up does punch their ticket into the semis with a 2-0 over High Tide Rush, and they will be playing Salutations for a chance at the Spada finals.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side of the bracket, same thing happens. Never mind, they stopped the ticket at 1. They kept the zone. Hold on, wait, read your commentary. This thing. Hold on. Okay, they take the zone back at 1 point remaining. So, you know, I was gonna, you know, piggyback off of what you were saying, say the other side's been punched in, and we got our other semis match, but. No, Heavy Edit Splatling barely clutches that thing, and they're still alive, just barely.
The game is not over until something hits 0 on those clocks or those scoreboards. It's going to be a bit of a hard lesson to learn. It's a hard lesson to learn all the time, but unfortunately, your opponents are going to teach it to you. And like as we were taking a look here as well, 30 seconds remaining is going to be very hard for the side of Aberration. Actually, I can't even tell which side is which.
Orange is Heavy Edit Splatling. You might notice the Heavy Edit Splatling on the team.
Ah, I actually didn't. How did I do that? But yeah, as we're keeping a watch here, there's still a lot of penalty. Like we're doing a little bit of side commentary here, even though you guys can't see what's going on. Overtime has begun, and it's Umami Zones. We unfortunately missed out on Umami Zones on the side of 3rd place.
All right, Aberration making the semis gonna be your opponent or their opponent, or of course that's time's opponent. Out of tune. Wow, I'm terrible.
And don't worry, it happens to the best of us, unfortunately. But Chorus Out of Tune being the 3rd seed, we see, taking a look here, if we can get a chance to look at it. Chorus Out of Tune, we see it is Tan, Tufa, I believe this is Seal, who the pun player, somebody who is in +3 as well. Well, actually, why am I saying somebody who's in +3? At this point, basically everybody's going to be like either like high level or in the plus servers at some point. What am I saying?
Yeah, I mean, this is about where the competition gets real tough, so not shocking to see that all these players have pretty strong accolades. I mean, we watched Aberration earlier. I'll keep it a buck. I didn't watch the stream, so I don't know what we said about them before, but, you know, these are strong seasoned players that have been here for, like, a bajillion years, been, like, you know, people that I, like, trembled in my boots fighting in SOS back when I was a player, so, you know.
Oh boy. Yeah, unfortunately, I do not play a lot of SOS myself, unfortunately, but that is mainly just because, you know, also I definitely should probably play a lot more. Like, definitely always definitely, if you ever get a chance to play more open levels for anybody here watching, definitely take that chance to grind more open levels, even if it means that it's gonna get your butt handed to you like it does for me a lot. It's still a very good learning experience overall, but now we have to look forward to this semifinals matchup for Aberration and Chorus Out of Tune as we get ready for Game 1 on Mahi Mahi Resort.
How do you say that name? Help me.
The one in Japanese. I believe that is just Seal. C. Wait, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna stumble over myself trying to say this. CIEL, I believe it is.
CL?
CL? I think so. I don't know if that's how I say it. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Well, let's hope they have an alias. That one's gonna beat my behind. So
hopefully the alias will be our saving grace here. But actually, looking here in the match here, they see the IGN. I believe is like I don't know how to say that words, and also I'm not sure entirely if it's something that I'm.
We can figure this out once the game starts.
Yeah.
I want to point out, by the way, that Aberration did just beat pretty much Team Doom Desire. Like, Doom Desire is what? Bubbles 49er and... oh my god, the brush player.
I believe that is also 49?
No, 49 is the brush player. I'm thinking of the Dapple. Who's the... Is it Gimme? Anyway. Yeah, strong up-and-coming team that they just took down in an, you know... Okay, seeding-wise, upset, but personally, you know, they're give or take even in level, so... I think it's pretty noble that they've gone down to them either way, but yeah, Doom Desire being podium the last few weeks, maybe not last week, but back when I last commented SOS like 5 weeks ago, they were up there. So for them to go down and out in quarters is, you know, probably disappointing for them.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but you guys, unfortunately, got to pick up with your losses. Like, kind of do some reviews, see what you may have done wrong, and definitely go next after it. But for the side of Aberration, their run continues here, and they are absolutely guaranteed top 4 because they also have a chance for 3rd place if they end up losing this match. But for the side of them, they're not actually the lowest seed here. Salutations is the 13th seed. Going into the other semifinal matchup, they're playing Flex Up, who is the number 1 seed, while Chorus Out of Tune is seed number 3.
Well, week the tournament rosters are constantly changing. Who can say it's seeding? Salutations, you know, proven half and never lucky wrong. Firmly planting their boots in semifinals with a 2-0 last just on stream. So curious if they'll be able to upset Flex Up, who has a pretty disgusting roster. So, like, I'll be honest with you, I'd be pretty shocked to see anything other than a 3-0. But
holy, yeah, that is
to be proven wrong.
Yeah, that is a very stacked roster on the side of Flex Up. But so with Salutations, like we saw, like one of the things that Disguise threw so much displacement at them, but for the side of Salutations, they just didn't even really like seem phased. They didn't even seem bothered by it. So for these two, and we do get a note here from our streamer Pipe Dream. Wyrmwind did get a game off of Flex Up from pools earlier. So one of the things for Flex Up, like, is always the saying, if you can make God bleed, then really you can do anything about it. Really, like they are not invincible.
I'll keep it a buck. Probably locked Clash Blaster or something of the sort, as we do in pools. I'm not going to invest very much stock into it.
That is
So
true.
let's see what goes on in the later match as we see them in finals. Probably.
Probably. We don't know who happens. We could literally see a very big upset on this side, that side of the bracket. But as we
That'd
get ready
be sad.
for the side of Aberration and Chorus Out of Tune, honestly, what do you think is the big key opening here that both teams need to or opening factor that teams need to focus on here with Mahi?
With Mahi relative to these teams, I can't pretend like I know everyone on Chorus Out of Tune. Like, I see Tan, so I'm assuming that they're going to be playing the Tri-Slosher, which is what they were playing with Doom Desire, but also what I know them for is that Forge Pro. So, I don't know. The reason why I bring up the Tri is because that's going to shake up what the backline option is, and that makes me answer it differently. Bluntly, I don't know what's going to go on here. I know that Red is an extremely talented leader player, so I think that they can just dome someone, and that's what their game plan's going to be, but like it's a lot of like speculation that I low-key can't do because I'm not in the loop.
Unfortunately, I'm a little bit out of the loop on some of these people as well, but one person I do recognize on the side of Aberration is Miono, aka Virtuous. If you see for the game, anyone wondering what the IGN is in game, we saw them playing either the Vanilla Slosher or we saw them playing the Vanilla Dreadringer. Both of those can be very strong here, especially on a zone like Mahi. The strikes and the slider, even with the nerfs we always see, slider cheese does sometimes still exist. But for the side of Aberration, it's not really just can you cap the zone, it's really what can you do to possibly take so much space and make sure you just shut down the other team from being able to take some space back from you. But for Aberration, they definitely have the work cut out for them, but they definitely have what it takes here to definitely at least not only just take a few games, but also possibly win the set. I won't be surprised if this goes a very far distance in the set.
Yeah, no surprise to me. I mean, again, these are seasoned players that I've thought of as like the people that are capable of winning weeklies for like quite a few years now. So I'd not have any surprise if they won the set and even won the tournament. I think it's pretty even. I think that I could say that for all the players here, but for Aberration in specific, because they're not like names that you typically see nowadays, them being less active than others. I think they still got the so.
Yeah, we still definitely got a lot more entertaining action to happen in front of us as we are getting notified that we are going to be going into the game here very soon, and we're going into the pick phase, I believe, for weapons. For both of these teams, honestly, Candy, we saw they play 52. We've been seeing them, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be 52 in either Dread or Slosher as well. But for the loading into here, we see it is the P leader as one of the people, and we see there is
148 gal. Oh my god.
148 gal. Yeah, you heard it. Yep, we said it is 148. So we got that going. And for both of these teams, it is a leader v leader duel. You love to see it.
Yeah, and you see Miona running 2 main special power on her Reef Slider, so we're going to do some grand role play here and see how that goes. The opening fight's going to go in the favor of Aberration thanks to P leader doming someone, so they're going to get to move up way far, and, you know, it's nice to be in control as the tide falls, but down go 2, people canceling that slider, so it's going to be a pretty neutral opening here. 24 points, nothing special.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Yeah, unfortunately for the side of Aberration, we do see them. They do manage to keep control of the zone, mostly for the time being. The zone does flip back to Chorus, and we see Tufa on this S-Plus trying to do anything. Here comes the Reef Slider. Beep, beep, get out of the way. And unfortunately, Tufa does not heed that warning, but with Miono going down as well, Chorus Out of Tune is going to keep control of the zone, and with we see Candy here trying to do whatever they can to try to draw all the attention they can. They just can't get enough attention drawn, and Chorus takes the lead.
Not able to get out of the way and not able to get value off that slider. Like, you'd hope that a teammate would be able to follow off of that explosion. Like, you know, trade's not bad, but that's resource expended, so it's not going to be able to be used on the zone as that special power would imply. So, having expended all that, I mean, it doesn't matter now as they managed to not cap the zone. I thought that would have been something nice for them, but they are able to get off of their plat now and able to make a dent in mid. So we'll see if they're able to, you know, get some more space.
Yeah, unfortunately, the game of chicken is won by Tufa. They hold that Booyah Bomb until Miono lands right on top of them with a Reef Slider. They do manage to get the pick onto them as well. And for Chorus Out of Tune, they keep control of the zone. One thing you actually mentioned earlier when they couldn't get control of the zone, we see right there the leader placing some mines down in the zone that gives some extra paint and some extra stalling power for the side of Chorus Out of Tune if Aberration wants to try to get another pick into the zone. The slider comes out not on target just enough, and with everybody down, that's just that's unfortunate.
That slider missing the zone, super unfortunate. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little unfortunate for the side of Aberration, but unfortunately, but thankfully, the thing with it when it comes to this set compared to last set is that now it's a best of 5, so they definitely have a bunch more breathing room here on the side of Aberration. They definitely have a lot more breathing room to like try to get back into the set. But we saw a very good strong start from them, but then once Course Out of Tune found their footing, they just put the gas into overdrive, or they put the pedal into overdrive really, and Aberration just couldn't find an answer.
Thanks for picking up for me. I just had to cough my lungs out. Yeah, best of 5, so lots of room to, recoup those mistakes and do a little reverse here. So I wouldn't be too shocked. I think that the game 1 was just a little bit of a misplay. I feel like that they could have expended the resource a little better and throw that slider at the zone. But also just positioning wise, like I feel like they were very much trapped in their plat in a way that like they would like clump and then drop. So then if they were able to play the islands a little bit more, like even maybe send the P leader over the islands and just shoot them from an angle they wouldn't expect, then could be better. But
yeah,
I like this change actually. Pulling out the Dapple, which can rush down, like one of the few weapons that can rush down the 148 gal effectively. So yeah,
this is a very good thing. We see it already. They're definitely taking an advantage of it right now. They're going to have to jump out for their own safety, but that does give Aberration a lot of time to get a cooler, get some paint down into mid, and try to see what they have. What is their next plan of attack here? And we see Candy trying to do anything they can. They don't get the pick onto 52, and we see P Leader trying to do whatever they can to find a pick of their own. They put down the mine there. That's definitely going to give some extra possible slowdown if Chorus gets a big push here, as we're about to see.
Yeah, 2 down again for Aberration. It seems like Course Out of Tune is able to have a very strong opening each time. Seems like getting pretty strong footing here, pushing up their ramp. But they choose to back off, I guess, in favor of building more of the clam economy. I'm not too sure here, so ceding a lot of space here, letting Aberration move back in, but pretty much at a standstill. 3 down from what?
What?
Okay,
That's
3 down from Lunazuka in the back line. Shooting them all net, and this is going to poison them for a nice first push here.
Yeah, definitely. So that's it. That actually is if they can get a ball formed here, and we see P Leader. They do finally get the first power clam on the side here. They get the pick onto Titan as well, but they can't push much farther forward because just there's so much pressure being put from Chorus. Even though being 2 down, they still have a lot of work cut out for them. And with P Leader trying to see if they can get an extra pick. If they get another extra pick here, that is definitely the key that they need to possibly break into this game. And we see Luna trying to walk it down, do whatever they can. The strikes possibly thinning the herd out even more. But it actually works against Aberration because they go 2 down.
If I can be honest, I'm not quite sure why we didn't move up there. I feel like there was a decent amount of space, but it doesn't really matter because they're maintaining this like stagger. Like Chorus Out of Tune is just running into them and like winning some fights, but not enough clearly because they're still like they were 2 down just now, and Aberration still got a strong presence on their plat. So they got to get that DAP out of there. That's a good start by Tufa shooting them, so they're able to hopefully reclaim a little more space here. But I'm not sure how this push has fallen apart and how it hasn't really fallen apart because they're still here at the ramp. It just hasn't gone further than this.
Patience is really the name of the game here for Chorus. They definitely have been making a lot of mistakes, but their mistakes are being made up for as well. We see Luna trying to do whatever they can. There's the Reef Slider getting some extra picks, but enough people continue to stay alive here. They're trying to do anything they can. P Leader, they see the diversion tactic. That is a very good way to get a first score in here. It looks like it's only going to be just 1 power ball in, but we see Candy doing anything they can. Oh, they see the leader.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Super close. Just like a frame too late, so we're not going to extend that push here, and 2 down means they're probably backing off the plat. If they manage to find Miono on that slosher, then we might be able to finally get back in the game. Like, this has been, what, like a minute and a half hold? Like, they have not left this ramp area for so long, but that's only 20 points on the board. Like, it is hardly anything.
Yeah, although that being said, Miono is just continuing to control so much space. This is such a strong position for Bucket to hold. But they finally, after so long, they finally go down, and P Leader trying to do anything they can to help get some possible picks onto that Buoy Bomb, but the armor is too strong for them to shred it through. But Miono already back up, like once again, they're very weak on health and they go down. Miono has been a very big X factor for the side of Aberration this game.
Yeah, but now as Miono goes down, it looks like Horse Attitude is prepared to finally step into mid after like 2 minutes being stuck on their plat. They have to watch out for Lunazuka in mid though, trying to get a nice flank onto the leader, not managing to close it out. And Miono goes down as well, and Candy goes down too. 3 down. Last one up being P leader, not going to be able to stop the ball from going in, and this is going to be the easiest lead swap known now. But
Well,
the question is how
obvi-
far they can extend this lead, because neither team had like a super strong footing. So like 68 is something that Aberration can 110% come back from now. Like they're already
Yeah,
all the way off the flat, and all the players are on the recall now. So
Yeah, Aberration for them, it's just, I believe it's going to be just one Powerball in and then just one extra clan to boot, and that is going to be the lead swap. But the economy, actually no, the economy is almost breakneck even right now. It's a bit more in favor of course out of tune. Luna does have this cooler ready. They're going to throw it out to their teammates. Everybody's over here. A better place for it to be thrown. And we see Miono, excuse me, trying to do anything they can just to try to bully out this gal. Like, they just can't really do a whole lot, but neither can the gal as well. And a bit of a possibly costly jump does not cost them their life, but it costs 2 members for the side of Aberration.
not looking too good, but not terrible either. They still have control of their plaid. Down goes P leader, which I think is actually pretty bad here, because they provide so much stability to the team, and a ball, pick up the ball. But we do see Candy sneaking into the back line, and this could be the opportunity. Like, that is 3 down, so if they manage to rush up to that ramp, then they can at least, start one final push. But overtime for Clan Blitz is super short, so as we enter overtime now, I'm a little bit worried for Aberration.
Yeah, no, this is a little bit scary territory here. If they can definitely find a good pick here, it definitely could be really good. But we see that the 52 gal is on a mission, just trying to do anything they can to really limit P leader's ability. They're chasing them all the way in, and this is just this solo mission right now. But this is realistically putting it at a 3v3, but it is more of an advantage, and it's not enough.
I low-key wish we got to see any of that, but you could see Luna and Candy like running up onto their plat, and P-Leader is backing up, like trying to save their life to get that jump in, but I think they got slider canceled at the very end, so they just barely couldn't get that in. And like you said, it was just one ball, one small clam, but it just couldn't come to fruition. That puts them down 2 games in the best of 5 set. Like, I know best of 5 is a little bit longer, a little bit more forgiving, but 2 down, or down 2 games is not so good.
Yeah, your work is definitely a lot more cut out for you here, because you now gotta rattle off. First off, you gotta shake off. You gotta get your confidence back. First off, you gotta take the game off, and you gotta put a dent into their confidence. And then if you find that dent and you abuse that possible dent, then that dent can become a very big gaping wound that really could be the downfall of the other team. But for Aberration, they have a lot of work cut out for them, because even though it looked really good for them, it just barely was enough.
Tower ship shape up next, and I think if I was going to give any map of this set to the favor of Aberration, then it'd be this one, and I think that this is their strongest opportunity to make a comeback here. I think that the strikes are obviously a great choice for tower control, but also the leader, the leader scope actually. So a little bit of extra range. I think, yeah. I don't know, that's the point. I just think it's good for the comps, whatever.
Yeah, but we see Course Attitude has still been sticking with that 148 gal as well, and what we see for Aberration, they go back to the 52 gal. Honestly, probably that wall can help give them a little bit of extra survivability for both of these teams here, but with the side of Aberration, they still have a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird opening where I don't feel like any of the players on Aberration were looking at each other, and now the collapse comes in. That's going to be a soft wipe for Chorus Attitude, letting them get their first push going. More than certainly going to get that first checkpoint unless they choose to expend the strikes on the tower. They do, so they're at least going to be able to momentarily push them off of the tower and make sure they don't get that first check yet. But I don't know, it's been a messy game for Aberration so far. I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect in their teamwork here.
Although, as you said, though, Chorus Attitude does go 3 down, and we do see Aberration takes the chance to do it, and we see Miono doing whatever they can to take up as much space as quickly as possible. But for the side of Tufa, we see them with the S-Blast. They're on that bridge, along with Titan backing them up. They have to be really careful here. They do go down. That is a lot of the extra pressure possibly immediately lost for the side of Aberration, and for them, that is rewarding them with a lead.
Yeah, it's going to be the lead first check. First check is pretty much a formality. Most teams will be able to get it, so, nothing to scoff at just yet. See if they manage to push it a bit further. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to now, but, the jump's coming in, and they do have strikes online, so if Luna can get a nice pick here, doesn't manage to close it out, I think they got to back up here, save some resources, and, strike it next time.
Yeah, unfortunately for the side of Aberration, it doesn't exactly go all as far as they were hoping for. But for Chorus out of 2, they weren't able to get as far as they were hoping as well. Both of these teams really just kind of unfortunately putting some wrenches into the other's plans. But for the side of Aberration, they definitely have a better hold here on this mid right now. But not before CL can say anything and get the pick onto Candy. And P-Leader's got to watch their head here, or else it is going to be taken clean off by CL.
As they ramp up their next push, they have to make sure to take care of Miono this time, because the strikes put us off in their tracks last time. Out comes the strikes, which means if they do manage to get another push going here, it's not going to be able to use the stop checkpoint. It doesn't matter though, because like beyond that, like they're not even going to get push at all, going 3 down. And last play going on the bottom left, I think they choose to jump out, so this is going to set up Aberration to start their next push. And luckily they did break that first checkpoint in the first push, so they're going to be able to waltz right up to the, the 20-30 point mark where ship-shaped cargo tower games like start and end. So
yeah,
having the strikes here, if they manage to win that fight with Gal in the corner, that's going to be very nice. Like if they use strikes here, like I think they're very well set.
Yeah, we do see Aberration does get a very good push all the way down to 21, but not before they go 3 down. But Miono is back alone holding this fort down. They unfortunately go down themselves, and that is effectively going to be a delayed wipe on the side of Chorus out of 2. And we see CL popping this wave breaker, and they are riding the tower themselves. It's been a lot of the backline riding the tower, but that is typically what you see a lot of in comp really just or anywhere or all of that. But we see Tufa trying to do whatever they can. They do go down to Luna, and oh, excuse me, Luna finds the second one before going down themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's Aberration control again, and they get another opportunity to push. Out comes the whale, so they're going to be moving up to the left side, which I really like. They're not going to be able to defend from their plat, force them into that top right, so if Miono can set up the strikes, that's going to be deadly. Candy wisely choosing to jump back here and back off a little bit, waiting for the strikes, and I think this is going to be good opportunity to push, question mark?
Yeah, question mark we might think here. We see it's more of a make sure that Aberration has a very strong hold here in mid. I feel like that's definitely one thing they wanted to do before they can really get that full confidence to go in. And unfortunately, Luna does find themselves down to CL, but P-Leader sitting in the back here. They do place some mines down to possibly give their some areas some extra protection. One mine does go off. And Miono not aware of Tufa right there. They pop the Booyah Bomb and they jump out before they can do so, and Luna barely managing to escape it, but they don't.
The 52 there, Candy managing to disjoint them with the Gal and definitely aided in that fight. So despite what seemed like a pretty decent retake from Course Out of Tune, it's still Aberration drive C once again. And as we get into the 40-second mark, remaining mark, I think now we're going to be looking at preserving these trash strikes and just ending the game. Because 21 is like a risky push, but with dry strikes, it's a solid push and one that you can use to secure the end of the game. So as to go down on side of Aberration, we're going to look at how they do their last, defensive hold here.
Yeah, one thing actually we were talking about strikes earlier. One thing I feel like we forgot to mention is that Miono is having themselves a bit of a time right now. They were getting a lot of picks there, and 2 more go down for the side of Course out of 2. And Titan trying to do whatever they can to get some more pressure, but so many players go down, and basically it looks like everybody from Course out of Tune is gone. And with basically the last few seconds ticking off the clock here, Aberration is not dead just yet.
Yeah, showing some signs of life on what I thought would be their strongest map, and I mean that comes out in. I don't remember the saying, but they did good. Thumbs up. Yeah, like similar to the museum game, like Course Out of Tune just kind of ran at them. And remember how they were on their plat for like a minute and a half straight, maybe 2 minutes for that museum clams game? Like they had such a difficult time getting them out, and the issue presented itself and was capitalized on tenfold this game, which I thought was really well played by Aberration.
Yeah, Aberration definitely, they saw that weakness that we saw. Like, I mean, it was a pretty big weakness we saw already, because like with how long they held that plat, like you were saying in that museum game, and they knew like, okay, if we can hold them for that long, we absolutely can hold them for even more of the next game. And that's exactly what they just did. Aberration just was in control so much of that game, and basically they didn't look back, and now they've put in a dent into the armor of Chorus Out of Tune. Now for Chorus, they just still need to win one more game, but to have that happen after going up 2-0, but then kind of get your butts handed to you a little bit, really, and you just kind of got locked out that entire game, the confidence might be starting to crack a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that one loss is going to get them down, and I think that they are going to, play this one the same as ever. Now, if they lose this one, then that's when I'd start spending a little bit, but personally, I think that this map goes a little bit into their favor, being a little bit faster. So I'm excited to see what goes on here.
Yeah, definitely one thing probably to look more for here is if any leaders take more heads off, because this is a bit more of an open map. We already see CL and P leader set up in just the exact same spots, just on opposite sides of the map. And the 52 from each side does go down. Miono picks up any extra picks. They get 5 claims to their name, doing whatever they can, just fighting where Bucket likes to fight best here on the top mid here in Woomy Ruins. And they do get the last pick, but they still are 1 down for each, as it's a very big, just messy barnstormer fight, basically.
I don't know if you noticed that, but they managed to trade out the leader, which meant that they got to walk up safely, and then the leader got on course out 2 and got to take a more aggressive position and just dome someone. So that was a really nice trade by the gal on course out 2. But I mean, it's not bought so much now. It's still a pretty neutral fight in mid. Expending a lot of resources like this, Booyah not gonna be able to do very much. Just trade out. So not that anything's going particularly badly, but no one has very much momentum on their side.
One thing I wanted to mention there, we saw this app, unfortunately we saw the cooler kind of get plopped down to the side. They unfortunately get a bit of a cooler cancel. They weren't able to throw it out in time. We see the strikes come out from Miono and Aberration. Definitely a possible chance for them to get back into control mid. We see P leader over by the dome trying to see if they can get any sneaky head chops over there, and we see for the side, of course, Attitude, they are keeping control of this space a lot, although as they say that they'll watch out, here goes everybody down, and basically Seal has to jump out, and for Aberration, this is their chance to get the first lead.
Yeah, pretty much a wipeout here, so that's going to be the first push coming out of Aberration, and good use of specials here, using the strikes and clearing that dome means that they're going to be able to get so much more points in, and securely so. Doesn't matter though, if Tufa manages to walk in and just shoot 3 of them, P-Leader manages to jump out safely, so you know, nice to preserve that, but I mean, look how much space they managed to take in just like 10 seconds after that push. Like, we expended a lot of resources for 56, which is admittedly not a huge push on Umami Clams, so I'm wondering if that might have been even detrimental.
Yeah, especially though, but as we say that, the economy is not looking good for Chorus out of tune. Basically, Aberration almost is already caught up economy-wise. They do have double the economy, but barely, not a whole lot. And we see, though, Aberration does get caught out. A few members do. The zap goes down. We see Titan trying to walk in. They don't see the jump in time, and unfortunately their attention is too divided for them to get a full pick onto anybody.
Kind of just fell apart there. Like, they had a pretty decent hold, but then something happened. I think that jump really threw them off, so, you know, it's going to buy Aberration a little bit of life here. 71 points is, like, low-key nothing burger, so we are alive in this game. Not to say that 56 is a deep push either, but, you know, I feel like Aberration is still not sweating at all. They're getting that free power clam, and it's going to set them up for the next push.
Yeah, although as we say that, though, we see Miono trying to take a fight alone on the top mid there. They unfortunately go down, but we see Candy can't get that wall set up in time enough, and we see CL trying to be very aggressive with these leader pokes, and we see Tufa with the Booyah Bomb. Throw it right into the place where you don't want to be for the side of Aberration.
I look, you have no idea what just went on there. We like whipped the camera around. Yeah, on course out of tune. So what looked like an extremely good push just fell apart due to some ailment. Yeah, so that's going to be Aberration walking back into mid here, using the strikes to clear all the space. I like this actually because they have like so little paint and mid to work with. Now they're able to walk up forward and take these fights effectively. Not so effectively if Tufa just shoots it though.
Yeah, one of the things definitely we saw there, we saw Miono try to get a pick onto Tufa, and they fortunately weren't able to get it too much, and they do eventually go down to the S-Blast, but we saw Luna kind of more just trying to draw attention for their teammates to move in and try to get anything, but with the side of Aberration, they do go, all that pressure is lost, and Chorus out of tune does keep a big control of mid here. They have some claims to their name, not enough to form a ball just yet. And for Aberration, they have all that space, they have the defense, they have the cooler, and with a minute to go, they have to, they're holding on, but not by much.
To go down here, and that's going to be Chorus out of tune's turn to push, but can they make that push manifest this time? Like, they managed to get the ball in and like maybe like clam or two, but they never managed to get a real hold. So, you know, in the next 40 seconds, they're going to have to make something happen. I mean, they've got a lot of clam economy to power clams, so, you know, no problem in that part, but they have to build up the resources. Like, the Booyah's going to take a while to build up. The coolers just come out, and, I mean, the whale's really no help, so they're going to have to get some picks here to move in.
Yeah, really, that's going to be how they get in, and just there's not a lot of displacement that they can have. They're trying to do everything they can. The economy is stacking way into the Chorus out of tune's favor. Here comes the Booyah Bomb from Tufa. That is going to be, looks like it's going to be what it's going to take here. We see them all jump in, and no, Miono doesn't get it, and that is the lead swap. With 10 seconds remaining for Chorus out of tune, this is an absolute dagger for them on the side of Aberration, and now they have a lot cut out for them if they want to take this game back.
That's a very tall hill to climb for Aberration moving this overtime. About 20 seconds left for them. They do have the ball, so they have resources to get this push going. They need to find some picks though. Miono and Candy starting that off strong, getting a nice pick onto the Gal, or sorry, onto the S blast. But they have to get a little more than that. Like 3 down, it's just being leader. I don't think it's gonna be.
It's unfortunately not enough. Just the really late push. Patience paid off for the side of Chorus Out of Tune, and they take game 4. They punch their ticket into grand finals here of SOS 2, number 230. And for Aberration, just heartbreak for them. But their run is not over just yet. They still have a chance at the podium.
Hey, third's not bad. Let's aim for it. So that's going to be them finding out in the 3rd place match versus I have no idea. And of course, I see moving into the grand finals here.
Yeah, we saw there's a lot of, it was very good first push from Aberration we saw, but like you said, it was just not a whole lot for them, and Paisley are trying to make one last mad dash for the basket to try to keep it open, but for them it just wasn't enough. And we do see Flex Up does get the 3-1 over Salutations, so it is Flex Up versus Chorus Out of Tune for grand finals, while Salutations will take on Aberration for whoever is going to take home that 3rd place match here in SOS. But we're in the end game now, Ellie. We've arrived at the finals, at the final stop. We're gonna have grand finals coming up soon.
Oh, Flex Up versus of course Out of Tune. I want to note that Salutations won that match because of DC, but so it's not like I don't think Flex Up has been made to bleed just yet in this Great White bracket. So of course Out of Tune's gonna have to be the ones to start that off.
Yeah, we do get a look here at our maps, and we do see that it is going to be Shipshape Cargo Co. on zones to start off the first match of this grand finals here. For the side of Flex Up, they definitely they are the number 1 seed. They have a lot to prove.
This is terrible. What the hell? We got zones Shipshape Tower Control on Undertow, Clamblitz Barnacle, and then it gets normal at 4 and 5. But me personally, I'm going down 0-3 to these 3 dog something maps. What is this? Yeah, strong rosters. Flex Up. I mean, Cool Ace. Okay, I don't know. Okay, this one fries me every time because I always think it's homogenous, but it's not. It's Homengus. Beats me. I hear that they just call them Home, so we're gonna go with Home. Kiki, Sam, and Zakram and Stock, and I think that's gonna be Sam and Kool-Aid sitting out here. So Home on usually the 96, Kiki on a Blaster, Zakram on backline, Stock on shot, Dooley, something like that.
Yeah, I've seen Zekrom around a little bit. Zekrom being the pen player for Pathway. I was talking about how I mentioned some of my friends actually did take some games off them recently, but that's just kind of things happen. Sometimes you might have a bad night or two. For them, they definitely put that behind them, and they're definitely getting a very strong result here. No matter what, they finish, no matter what, worst team's going to finish second here. Second in SOS, even though it might sting a little bit, it's still a pretty good result to go nonetheless. But for these people who are here all the time, at this point, it's just monotonous in a way.
Unless you're European and you the picture of the guy standing at the bottom of the podium, chugging champagne, fist pump, and they call themselves the vice champions instead of runner-ups, and I think it's really funny. Anyway, yeah, no one's aiming for seconds, so they're definitely going to put their best foot forward here, moving into this horrific set of maps.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I could agree on some of these maps. Some of these maps might not be the greatest, but I mean, looking at more Hagglefish Market, we're seeing a lot of Haggle throughout this entire map. We've been seeing Shipshape and Haggle have been the biggest ones, but for just their zones, everyone's always going to be playing them a lot, and we see these maps all the time in a lot of map lists for tournaments. But really, you might hate them, but unfortunately, you kind of just have to deal with it sometimes.
I think they're objectively bad, and we were griefing our players by making them practice actual garbage. Anyways, Zone Shipshape, I think that this plays into the favor of Flex Up pretty well. I mean, Kiki's going to be on the Splash and Blaster more than likely, and the little overhang being like mini Flounder, very, very nice to deploy that Splash and the Bubble too if they do decide to pick that. This is the pen map of all time. That open sightline down mid, able to pretty much control the zone single-handedly. I don't know. It sounds pretty good for them, no?
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree with you here too as well. But one of the things actually we were talking, like you, just to mention, like you were talking about like all the EU stuff. Most of the players from FlexUp, according to their nationality, according to what their sender profiles say, most of them are from Europe or just anywhere that's not North America. Sam is the only one that's like confirmed to be, because Stock doesn't even have like a country listed, but for home, Kiki, Zekrom, they're all European, and we saw Stock, like we said, nothing. Their Kool-Aid doesn't even, I think it is listed as Japan, who knows, and then same as the US.
Yeah. Home should be from Indonesia, if I remember correctly, which is cool. So, yeah, I mean, we picked SOS to set our time aside for. I think Indonesia should be about like, what?
Some whack time. I don't know.
Because I know that they have like a freaky, what's it? I don't know. It's hard to wake up for. But Europe is playing like really right now, because Kiki should be from Ireland and Zekrom from somewhere. Germany? Question mark? I don't know. Something like that. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it's pretty late for them. We'll see if the sleep tax claims them as well.
As what we have been seeing though, FlexUp more the sleep tax has more been seeing like a sleep buff. Really, if you want to think of anything, because FlexUp, like we have said, they've only dropped 2 games so far throughout this entire tournament. They swept Creme Brulee. They won 2-1 against Wyrmwind, the 2-0 High Tide Rush, and a 3-1 against Salutations as well. So really, it's been a lot. It hasn't been as hard for them as some other SOS champion runs, but for them, one final stop, one final opponent to possibly beat the snot out of, if you may. And for them, the title of SOS 230 champion awaits whoever wins this first match.
I know you're trying to set up a storyline, but this tournament low-key doesn't start until semis in Great White. Like the winning streak that you get in pools is like you're farming people who have like maybe a cumulative like 8,000 XP lower than you, so it's like low-key shrugs. But I think they've been warmed up after semifinals and now moving into grands, waiting on one more player to join the lobby. Is XUC in the lobby? Hold on. What?
Wait.
Someone's named XUC in this.
Well, that's certainly something. I mean, if anybody has not been actually paying attention, we've seen with all the popularity of Splatoon, XQC actually did. I saw a clip of them popping Zipcaster on Octobrush, and like he had to put a lot of effort into that first Zipcaster. But I mean, hey, if it worked for him, it worked. But it's definitely crazy to think how the popularity of Splatoon has been on the uptrend lately, especially on Twitch. But it's kind of good to think.
I can't join this topic, I'm gonna get heated. I think the moral grandstanding is really annoying. Yeah, so I'm waiting on one more player to join the room. Let's get this going.
Yeah, actually, one thing to mention, we were talking about nationalities. Prosper in the Twitch chat does mention that Kool-Aid and Home are both in North America right now. So actually, not as oh dark 30 times as it might be for everybody here, but for them, it's still a lot to think. But for a lot of these other teams, you definitely get up in some more whack times. But really, that's kind of, if you're wanting to play some good tournaments, unfortunately, sometimes you gotta get up at the whack times and get the practice in. I mean, we saw it all the time, especially if you want to like grind X rank series, like some people have in the past. But for them, this is at this point, it's just part of the routine.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're not so familiar with the routine. If we were, then we'd be pressing the A button and then we'd join the lobby. But yeah, I'm watching one of their POV streams and like waiting to see who's the last one so I can make fun of them. But
this is like the public humiliation. You cannot outrun it. But for the side of for both of these teams, like Shipshape Cargo, we've been seeing them put a lot of dominance onto everybody. But for both of these teams, it's really just a case of like, you could really argue this is like it's a case of unstoppable force and movable object. But for both of these teams, it's just a random. This is just like something just to like get some extra practice. Maybe get another open level result for both of these teams. But for them, it's just like I said, it's just kind of a run of the mill Wednesday for most of these teams. Like they expected themselves to be here, and they are very much proving so.
I'd look to argue that Course Out of Tune is a not an unstoppable force and low-key movable object here, and I'll be honest and say that I think that they're the ones that are going to this set as the team that's going to be like punching up a little bit. Not to say that FlexUp is unbeatable, no set is unbeatable, but I do think that FlexUp is more seasoned and very well acquainted with this high level Sphere. Like Kiki being and Home as well being players that made it into Global Gauntlet, took Home took sets. Kiki did not against the Japanese demons that we invited into Global Gauntlet. So.
Yeah, and also as always, like Global Gauntlet was always such a spectacle to go, and definitely looking forward to the penultimate Splat World Series coming later in the summer. But now we're finally getting into XQC guys. Who let XQC in here? Just joking. And we see.
Actually, no. Wait. Hold on. Okay, no, I like Rowan, but I low-key get it. I think that's actually not a bad pick for Ship Sounds. Yeah, we were seeing the switch to the 148 gal, but like the version that everyone complains about with being the VAC 96. So I think that's a nice adaptation out of course out of soon, and it will help them win fights in a way that they weren't before in the previous set.
I'm still scratching my head at this orange NZAP. I mean, sure, I was an orange NZAP before, like well before I was a Stamper main, way before I entered comp. But orange NZAP in comp, I mean, hey, hats off to you though. But for the side of
good.
Chump's goated. But for the side of Flex Up, they get first cap of the zone, and they are definitely getting a very good hold here already.
Yeah, I mean, XUC growing like crazy from that Octobrush clip, and now managing to just shoot them in the 96 gal, so a huge clue up there. And, you know, this first hold's going to go to Flex Up, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, they need to clean this top left area and stop Claire from moving in, but it looks like Claire's going to be able to lock in for free. And the back is probably going to be shot at the zone here, so, you know, it's going to be a nice retake from Course out of soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to keep control, like, definitely, like, sucking up all the Anka, not allowing Flex to get any way to get control of the zone, and that is 2 down, and then make it 3 down, make it 4, make it a wipeout for the side of Course out of tune.
To cough my lungs out. Yeah, full wipeout for Chorus out of tune, so it's going to poise them to build a lockout here, see how they use these 3 resources that they've got ready. You know, the Vac and the Whale are both online, waiting for the cooler before they take a fight. So, you know, it's up to a Flex Up for how they deal with these resources. It comes out now, and 2 Vacs are sucking each other, and the 2 can't move at all in the vortex, so they jump out, and that's going to allow them to lock in, kind of. No, it's 3 down, going on to Flex Up, so, you know, they got to regroup here, and they're going to be losing the lead in this altercation.
Oh, and they get the pick on the splashdown as well. They keep the zone into their control XQC. They do have a Vac ready. Here comes the Vac, trying to do anything they can to keep Stalk alive, but it's not going to be enough. For the side, of course, out of tune, they keep a very good control. The Vac shot is very, very shallow here, and now looks like it's just Kiki remaining here. I don't know if Orange NZAP was the play here, Ellie, because basically it feels like it's wraps already.
Yeah, I mean, 7 ticks left. I mean, technically the game's not over, but I'm gonna just call that GG's now. Jump's coming out to pop some fireworks on behalf of Course out of 2, and that's gonna be the first game going to them in this best of 5. Orange NZAP, it's a chef's choice, but I didn't think it was like a throw choice. Not that I'd have chosen it myself, but I could see the vision. I feel like this is a very open map, and Jump's very, you know, beneficial to fight with, but you saw just like some funky things happening with Ink back there, like Stalk Loki should have lived that fight. But maybe if the Vac was popped like 3 frames earlier, then they would have lived. And you know, I'm not gonna write fan fiction about Game 1 of SOS Grands, so we'll move on to Game 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, like that said, there's still 4 potential more games to be played here. Definitely 2 minimum, 4 possible. But for Chorus out of tune, they're just keeping that momentum rolling. One thing actually to note. That's that game that we saw Aberration take off of Chorus out of tune. That was the first game that anybody had been able to take off of Chorus out of tune. They had been undefeated going into that game. And so they definitely, both of these teams are relatively, like, basically almost untouchable at this point. But now it is time. Chorus out of tune gets the first jab. They get the first punch in the gut, if you may. But for now, for Flex Up, we'll see how that counterattack is going to be going for them as we shift over to Undertow Tower for Game 2.
Well, we'll see if we pick more funky things or if we lock it in, see those dualies come out of stock. Or it's shot, I don't know. I'm like kind of making this up. But I'm interested to see what adaptations they make. I feel like they can overwhelm the team. Of course, out tune, like the 148 gal, I feel like you can kind of run it down because they're not playing like they're playing S-Blast, which is like a little bit slower, I feel. So, you know, match the pace and go even faster. That's what I'd be thinking at least. So maybe bring out the dualies and what's something else. I'm not so sure what you're going to do here for tower control Undertow. I think that if there was ever a time to not be running the Vac gimmick, it would be here because I think that it's so gimmicky usually, but on tower especially with the pole just like interfering very much with the collision of the Vac. So,
you know, actually, little unrelated here. I just thought this is really funny to think about, you know, because we saw like XQC is the nickname in here. XQC is actually playing Splatoon 3 as we speak right now. He's live streaming Salmon Run. So
yeah, but we're not watching that crap. So let's watch SOS Grands. All right, I like these choices. I was saying, you know, if they're gonna switch off of the V96, that'd be the time, and we do see that Forge come out from Tan. So I like that choice. Double Booyah gonna be good for securing the GGs.
Yeah, you will like double Booyah. You want to grab the tower, like tower ridings in the air? Wrong. Booyah bomb coming your way. And we see that Kiki trying to get a pick really early. They do not get one. But with 30 seconds remaining, there's still like not a lot of points to be put on this tower. The first checkpoint is already getting approached here, but that basically that is just a freebie. Like this is the most free first checkpoint of any tower game you can really think of here. But for Core Salutations, they're already starting to get a lot of good pushes here. And for Flex Up, they are still being kept on the back foot.
Yeah, you're not going to be celebrating that first checkpoint. It's like, wow, what a big lead, but it's going to be, you know, them setting up their further pushes. You know, they don't have to stop there anymore, so it's nice for them to break. It doesn't really matter, though. They're getting gunned down right now. It's going to be the last one dying with Cooler. Terrible for them. Oh, no, they had like 0 special charge. Okay, that's whatever. So, yeah, this is going to be Flex Up. Time to move here. Dazuka first coming out and not getting any picks, so expending that resource. That Booyah bomb is going to be thrown and managed to go over the vac, so... You know, it's going to get a little bit of value, but, you know, they're getting stuck in the grass here. That's another 3 down. The last kill does manage to get cleaned up. So, Flex is in a really good position right now to push.
Yeah, and really, even though the first checkpoint is like a freebie, the second checkpoint is where things really start to possibly heat up, because especially with the open sight lanes you have there, and we see Core Salutations does make sure they crash there. Tufa barely is living here. We see XTC popping that back, but yeah, we see the flanks come out as well. But not enough for everybody. We see Stock doing the 1v1 with the Forge Pro. They don't win it, but they still get the lead regardless.
They get the lead, but you need to secure that second checkpoint to feel even the slightest bit secure in your lead here. Not that you have to get down to like the 20s to feel like, okay, well, I've won the game already. But you have to at least break that second checkpoint to feel remotely near that. So not managing to get it is a little bit unfortunate for them. I mean, they're going to get a second chance here as 2 go down on the side of Course out of 2, and so it's going to poise Flex Up to... you know, get another push going. They do have that vac ready, and I think Cooler just came out for them. Well, there it is. So they're going to be in a good position now.
Yeah, and for Core Salutations, they do have that Booyah Bomb because they did get the jump out. That's a beautiful pick on the side of Stock, really knowing how to play with that Zuka geometry. And we see, oh, Tufa, they're just in such an unfortunate spot. They can't really do anything with that vac threatening them, and they fortunately have to throw it down. And with that second checkpoint cleared, this is not looking good. And there's the bubble. That is an extra layer of security for the side of Flex Up for the time being as they get to the third checkpoint.
They just all blew up. He just like shot 2 of them all at once, and that's going to probably be the third checkpoint if they manage to dance around the pen long enough. There it is. So a push to 10. Maybe we get a kill here. Vac comes out. Okay, that's low-key game. All right, Flex Up, showing some life. Up, or now we're even in the set.
Yeah, Flex Up I think was trolling a little bit with that orange zap pick, and now it's like, okay, we lost that. Okay, they wanted to get the fun out of the way first, but now it's time for them to get serious, and they close out game 2 in a very big convincing fashion. And for them, we have at least game 4 in the books here.
Yeah, I mean, not okay. It wasn't like extremely dominant. Like they got a snowball effect going, but the opening was not like out of reach for Core Salutations. Mind you, they did get a push to a second checkpoint too, so it's not like they were like getting like the lock in and the switch to splatter shot did not like make the game for them. They just like leaned forward in the chair a little bit.
Yeah,
harder
they just they were relaxed, but now they definitely doing it. But also one of the things as well XTC doing a really good job at flirting with death with that pen. They're like sitting there, they're like low in health at one point. They knew when to disengage off the tower, they knew when to get back on the tower, and then once they got that vac, they're like, okay, it's go time, and they pop the vac, and that helps secure them the win eventually right at the end, getting the knockout, and back to 1-1 as we go to Barnacle and Dime.
As we get into this game, I'm gonna need to see Core Salutations slow it down a little bit. I feel like the whole sequence where they got like several pushes in a row onto them, like it's just because they were staggering and they need to, you know, not drop before it's an opportune moment. I don't know else, but gotta slow things down and not play directly into the waiting arms of Flex Up. That first back's gonna be nice to enable that first push if they manage to move up with it, but it gets eaten by the other back.
What's worse? That's honestly one of the worst feelings, just having your vac get eaten up by another vac. But for Flex Up, they're making it work. They instead get 3 down already. It is just CL remaining on this pen.
Oh yeah, hella plans.
They're getting chased down majorly by this shot. They go down, and there's another power ball. There's a very good first push already for the side of Flex Up. Already down to 42 already, and XCC has Aura and has another vac.
okay, it's low-key wraps. If we can get one more clam in, like the vac is going to control so much space, and there's so many clams on the side of the span, but that kill luckily comes through. So they're going to stop the bleeding at 27, which is a like catastrophic push, low-key. So this is going to be Chorus Out of Tunes out in the climb here versus Flex Up. I mean, they're getting in position now, taking the plat strongly, dropping that cooler, and popping a vac of their own. So this is their chance to push, but 27 is like really hard to beat.
Yeah, although that being said, though, you're saying this is such a huge push, but one of the things that to note about it is that the push happens so quickly that there's still 3.5 minutes left of this game. For Chorus Out of Tune, they definitely have a lot of extra time to do so, but this is already not good for their push to start stopping this early, but that is progress. You have to think that is progress eventually. If they want to get this game back, they can play the slow chipping game if they want to.
Low-key detrimental and giving them that power clam. So if Flex Up gets in position to make another push, they're gonna have that free resource to inflict further damage. And I mean, it looks like that's starting now. Vacuums out, letting Stock walk in, just shoot them, takes down 2, gets the third onto Tufa. That's gonna be the ball going in right now for Flex Up, and this is their next chance to push. Jump that ball in. Let's back this up.
Yeah, we do back it up a little bit. We pop that cooler. Everybody's making sure all drinked up and raring to go. Stalk with that one pick on the Zuka in the back. Titan trying to draw some attention. They do enough. It was some good attention to draw to keep the basket from getting scored on any further. But now we just see it's just a pencil for Flex Up, and they have to back up. And here comes Titan's back, and he's just moving across the entirety of middle there as we see Chorus Out of Tune try to get back in control.
We low-key back nothing, and I think we might have paid for it. It came out a little bit too early, so no one was able to walk up through that back and take a fight that you shouldn't be able to take the same way. Well, the reason why it's good now. So resources getting used for nothing really, and that's going to be Flex Up back in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, and they pop another vac. How many vacs has XCC popped here? Like we saw a first vac in like not even 15 seconds into the game, and they've popped so many vacs at this point. And we see Flex Up. They finally get through the large penalty. They worked all the way through it, and Stock just sitting here with this rail, trying to play around the rail, giving themselves a big escape option. They do go down eventually, but with the pointer down to 13 already, that is a lot more work for Chorus Out of Tune.
You were saying it's okay to, chip away at the score a little bit, but they got to get an extended hold at this point. 1:30 left on the clock, and no signs of anything changing. It looks like Kiki's just able to walk in, take down 2, and possibly a third from that splashdown. Stock's gonna clean up the last one more than likely. Back comes out of panic, and
just your average vac shenanigan. What? You see that? What? Just your average vac shenanigans. Nothing to see here. Flex Up. They just they take game 3 and they go to match point.
All right, set point for Flex Up, and I don't know what course etiquette. Can we get a replay on that? On that back, I just watched it back on the stream because I got the delay.
That was so weird because I saw the vac shot hit the ground and looked like it was ready to explode, but then it poofs. Like are we Houdini out here? What happened?
That was 6 ink vacs out of XQC. So they're consistently letting the entire team just walk in. Like in this situation, what do you do as Chorus Out of Tune? Like they've been consistently staggering and just losing these fights inexplicably to Flex Up. So what do you do other than just shoot them better?
Well, honestly, one of the things that just I still can't understand. We witnessed a magic trick basically. Like you want to see a magic trick? Good, abracadabra, bye vac shot. But it's so weird to see that. But for Chorus Out of Tune, this is a situation that they have not been in all tournament, but really they've had a bit of an easy route really all tournament, except for really against Aberration as we head to Inkblot Tower Control for game number 4. For them, it may not feel like it just exactly, but really the clock is ticking already.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last chance, last stand for Chorus Out of Tune, so we'll see if anything changes here. Making the adaptation switch over to the Forge, which was nice on Tower Control until it wasn't, so we'll see what they do. They're all pushing right side. They're all pretty clumped here, so I'm a little bit scared of what this opening is.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking for the side of course Attitude, especially if you lose that initial skirmish and we see once again another vac. Like we've been seeing the 96 gal just is able to cycle the vac so well, and they get the extra pick onto the pen while they weren't looking. They got the cooler out though while we were saying, but nobody's been able to take tower yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they want to be extra safe before they get it going. Tufa just got done by the Zuka, and that's gonna definitely start that first push. I mean, look at how far up Kiki is already on their plat, and they're looking at claiming bats, so the Vac's gonna come out and make this push like way easy for them to just walk in. But yeah, first check down. I mean, I guess the push ends here, but you know, minute in, and it seems like Flex Up has all the control despite not going super far.
Yeah, the chorus attitude, one of the definitely better things that they got out of this is that the first push was a lot smaller for the side of Flex Up, because I mean we saw just how absolutely like huge it was for the side of Flex Up on game 3 in Barnacle, but for them they do get a lot. Then Stock gets a really good shark off, but not able to finish that last pick, and they may go down themselves here, but not before they can do some shot shenanigans. But the damage is done, the tower's been lost.
Yeah, maybe not managing to just diff them all in the shot, but able to like halt the momentum of course attitude, and that's going to allow the rest of the team to move back in here using that vac and pushing everyone way far back. Like they need a resource to like counter that vac. Like low-key pull out a hammer if I were them, like hop in the Luna Blaster, but it's a little bit too late to make that adaptation, and now they're 2 down again.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like they definitely they don't seem to be able to find that answer to that vac, or really just that 96 really. Booyah bomb coming out from Titan to try to do anything here, but they're marked and everything. They can't really do a whole lot. And just one of the things they keep doing is that Flex Up just keeps sending a member on a flank just to really mainly just to possibly think of drawing attention, and it's just working out for them every single time.
That was low-key almost a clip. That was kind of nasty. We're backing up for this cooler? Oh, we are. Okay. I got confused about where the sides were. So
you don't understand. Zekrom needs that soda. Zekrom needs the soda, Ellie.
No, I thought they were like, never mind. Pushing out into the spawn of Flex Up. I mean, it's gonna fall apart real quick here. Let's see if the Booyah Bomb manages to sustain this push, or Tan just shoots them, but supposedly just jumps out here to get the tower, but it's just gonna fall apart there. Not able to, okay, I thought they broke the first checkpoint, which would have been a nice dent for them, but unfortunately, like all that expenditure for resources is not gonna buy them anything.
Yeah, it's just continuously in vain. We see the splashdown. We see that Chorus Attitude gets the pick on that splashdown to go down for the side of Flex Up, and XQC makes a bit of a gaffe trying to get themselves out, but they manage to get away with their life with that jump out. But for the side of Chorus Attitude, definitely they're pushing a lot. The cooler is out as well. Here comes the Booyah Bomb as well. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them.
Booyah Bomb went and strained the vac, and that vac's gonna come back and shoot Tan in the head. So he got griefed by the team. Yeah, I mean, what do you do about the vac? It just like stalls every push no matter what. They pop it and you just can't do anything about it. So they have to find that answer in the next minute and a half here. Going 2 down is definitely not the answer. It's looking a little bit dire for Chorus Attitude.
Yeah, Home's the vac stocks are definitely up, especially for Home on the side of Flex Up. We've just been saying we've been saying the vac, but no, we actually do realize these people do have names, unfortunately. Or unfortunately, wait, what? No, don't take that out of context. Just but
all right, minute 15. Let's lock it in.
Yeah, but for them, for Flex Up, they can't really get a full strong hold out of this at all. But Tufa just going down to the vac. It's a hard day to be a vacator.
All right, minute left here, and while Flex Up has been like largely in control the entire game, they have a 2-point lead, which is like nothing. So if they manage to get back in here, then they have a leg to stand on. That being said, they go 2 down. Luckily, they do have the cooler, so it's not catastrophic. But with 45 seconds remaining, it's definitely not what you want to see. How did Zekrom live that?
Zekrom barely coming out, and once again, here comes another vac. Once again, just like it's just like right on demand, like saying like, "Hey, can I get it back, please?" 1 ink vac coming right up for the side of Flex Up. And for them, with 30 seconds remaining, there's still a lot, but they only managed to chip a few extra points off. But for Chorus Attitude, this is just Doer's Eye territory, and with how Flex Up's been doing it, it looks like it might be wraps.
15 seconds left, 3 down. They're close to specials, so they can break back in here. They do have to win this fight, and a trade coming out is not what you're looking for. And now they're at the second checkpoint, further cementing their lead here. It's just Tufa remaining. Tufa's going to have to pull off a crazy clip if they want to get their life in the tournament, but I think that's it. 3, 2, 1, and I mean, that's a tournament. Flex Up taking SOS 230 in, I mean, pretty dominant fashion. Like, they did not lessen the grip the entirety of the set.
Yeah, only dropping 3 games throughout the entirety of the tournament. Now, sure, we may have thought that probably that first one maybe was because they wanted to do a little bit of trolling. But what's a little trolling between friends? Ultimately, they got what they came for, and it was just a very dominant showing for them on Chorus Out of Tune. Once they got off that zap, they're just like, okay, enough having fun. It's time to go win this.
Just gotta say that is 7 ink vacs from home, and a total of 8 booyah bombs from the entirety of Chorus Out of Tune, at least 4 of which got eaten by those vacs. So yeah, I mean, the question that needed to be answered was, how do you deal with ink vac? How do you not just let them walk right in with the special? And we just couldn't find that answer. So as we saw, Flex Up taking the set, taking the tournament, going to them. 3rd place match in going to game 5. Hold on, let's take a look. Wait.
Yeah, it is. As we're taking a look here, it is just starting as we speak right now. But for the side of Aberration, like definitely like, let's see. Actually, take a look here. How is that match playing out here? But for both of those teams, for Flex Up, it's just like just the amount of griefing that Home was just putting on to the side of Chorus Out of Tune. Like just like, oh my god, like if you don't like if like you don't like Vac after that match, I don't know what a Vac needs to do to you to change that. But looking here at Salutations and Aberration, they've actually been going blow for blow. Neither team has won 2 in a row.
Yeah, definitely nailed biter of a set. I mean, they're only 30 seconds into this first game, and Aberration is on the back foot currently, but it doesn't mean that's going to be the case forever. So we'll see what goes on here. Like, I want to note that they do have that game-ending Shark Rider, so, you know, they have plenty of resources, and Haggle is the perfect map to deploy that. So we'll see what goes on here.
Honestly, for them, it's really just a case of like, and well, here comes the Shark. They don't get one. They see the wild pick for the side of Aberration, but all this aside, though. But with that being said, yeah, we could be. Yeah, could get a little bit of an extra drop in POV here, but looking back at the full bracket here, most of the main bracket, keeping out of the 3rd place match, the full bracket is fully complete here for the side of SOS. Gonna see if we can take a look here at some of the other brackets on the side of on the farther sides. We see Hammerheads currently in finals. We see Creme Brulee end up taking home Mako finals in a 3-2, and for Lantern bracket, Attention getting a 3-0 sweep over Interstellar Beach Party.
All right, let's keep it a buck. We tuned SOS for Great White. Let's take a look at this 3rd place match. I'm sorry. I won Lantern bracket, but I know no one gives a damn.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, for them, for everybody, regardless, is hopefully everybody definitely found something to learn from this tournament, no matter who played where. But for everybody here, it's definitely another great edition of SOS that has been run by always. Shoutouts to the TOs, shoutouts to Pipe Dream being our spec cam as always.
That's the GOAT, the consistent GOAT. As much as Weather wants to grief him, he's always showing up. So shoutouts to Justin Pipe Dream DX.
Yeah, what's like one little tornado, like a little tornado gets thrown
nothing for a guy like Pipe Dream.
Yeah, Pipe Dream. That's just light work, no reaction. Honestly, between us, like if you ask me, just light work, no reaction.
Have they moved past the zone this whole game?
It's a it could be wait, and we see it's like as we said, like we're all waiting for the penultimate game here to possibly see who's gonna finally wrap out this bracket. But for the side of Aberration, honestly, I'm just like, I know I'm not really supposed to pick sides, but I kind of want Aberration to win, Loki.
I got nothing. I think that either way this set goes, it's going to be an interesting one. And I mean, they're making this last game a close one. Like, on the game here with 1:30 left on the clock, you know, a little bit less on the clock now.
We could be seeing that. We could, it really depends, honestly. But for both of these teams,
the way they open the map 15 times in a second, and it's like I have a really big monitor and my room's dark, so every time they open the map, it's like really I'm getting like flashbang.
Just for me, just like my monitor, I feel like you like it's always a funky thing to think about, but like really, like the dark room or anything, like if you have like any other RGB lights, it could be a little bit extra funkiness added to that all. But with a minute remaining, we already got a minute down.
Leader. And they have a slider. Wait, that's a pick. They have to get the flank. They get the flank. Wait, hold on. Wait, they look you just bagged this game if they slider the zone when they walk in. Is it over? If they don't add the hammer, then I think they got it.
Wait, who knows here? We got
a crazy flank.
Yeah.
Wait, just
So it looks like
hey,
that's it.
yeah, it's Aberration taking your 3rd place match, 3-2. So that's your full podium completed, being Aberration coming in 3rd. Of course, Attitude coming in 2nd, and Flex Up taking the tournament.
Yeah, Flex Up being the #1 seed, no surprise. I mean, like if you look purely off of like seed and you think who's gonna win, but with them winning that all the way through, a little bit of trolling along the way, especially some extra teasing in grand finals that never hurt nobody. But for all of that, always congrats to all of them for showing up and showing out as always. And shout outs to all the teams who also made all the Great White Bracket here, made it such a spectacle to behold. As always, it's always been a very fun tournament. SOS always provides a lot of great action, and it will be back here next week.
Yeah, I suppose it's everything from us. I got nothing. So,
Although,
do your sign off, or we'll call it up a day.
Well, as always, you guys always can find me over at ej46spl.bsky.social. On Twitter, if you ever see me there, I'm probably not very active. It's ElectraJ46, and also I'd be streaming on Twitch as well, ElectraJ46. Yeah, I know, I am very original and when it comes to my names. But Ellie, where can the community find you?
Who gives a damn about me? Splat World Series coming up next month. Register for qualifiers July 18th and 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. CEST. See you there. Have a good night.